Bias.com, a public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a beautiful stretch of weather for our holiday weekend. This afternoon, beautiful 72 degrees, sunny skies, low humidity, lighter winds. A pleasant 50 degrees overnight. And tomorrow's high 83. That string of 80s lasts well into the early part of next week.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 360 points to 39,308. Market update brought to you by. Wait for it, Tim. As the computer still loads the read I got to do. Wait for it. Market update is brought to you by Lufthansa. Lufthansa is excited to take off from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, connecting you to destinations like Germany, Italy, India, and beyond. Say yes to incredible journeys. Book today at Lufthansa.com. Don't worry, we're going to get there.
Work this one out in front. Hall with a chance. Montembeau with a second chance. They score! Hall throws it out in front. Work back to the point. Kept in by Matheson. High slot. New hook changes and challenges. What a save. Burns tries to knock it down. Can't do it. Anderson comes in. Oh, Kochetkov! Payout with a huge save. Orlov tries to get a shot through. Deflected out in front. Montembeau with a save. Still loose. They score! Tyson Jones.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We're getting started here on a Thursday. I'm Tim Donnelly. That voice you heard just a couple seconds ago, Dennis Cox. Welcome, everybody. Canes play Sunday at 3 versus the Devils to open their playoff experience. Hey, you know what? I might start doing? I might start taking like the last 4 minutes of the show on Canes game days. Not today, because this is a game that not many people care about against Ottawa. But I might start giving some pregame speeches. Some old school, like, you got to only worry about what you can control. Sure, the league puts you at 3 o'clock on a Sunday. Easter Sunday, that is. Sure, they're looking at you and saying, you're not a primetime matchup. You're not the buzzy team. You're not the one everyone wants to watch. Just like after the Mikko Rantanen situation, everybody said no one wants to play in Carolina. Well, there's one way to show them. Go out there and win. Right? Go full Adrian from Rocky, right? Win. That's all you can do. 3 o'clock, ironically, I mean, maybe not ironically, but in poetic justice, playing the Devils on Easter Sunday. I mean, at least everybody's going to be rooting for you. Like you're playing against the Devils on Easter Sunday. Granted, it's not necessarily the prime real estate, but it's the playoffs, right? It's the playoffs. You can get upset or you can get excited. Those are really your two options. As upsetting as it is, I'm going to do my best to get excited about it. Kind of how last night feels also. Last night, they played against Montreal. It was a game that Montreal desperately wanted to win, and the Canes rolled out a handful of AHL players, 2 of which are making their NHL debut. So you could sit there and kind of argue about the legitimacy of it. I saw a bunch of Columbus Blue Jacket fans going like, literally a team deciding to rest players just decided a postseason berth. And I'm going like, well, maybe all of the games you played your entire season had something to do with putting yourself in that situation also.
Oh, yeah, the other 82 games that you contributed to your season, those didn't matter? Okay, imagine if you had like another point in a shootout, maybe. I don't know.
Point in a shootout. Imagine if that softy goal you allowed back in December that decided a game went the other way. Last night you could look at it and you could complain about what it was. You could complain about this guy getting called up and not that guy getting called up. Or, you can choose, right? Control what you can control. You can get upset or you can get excited. I'm excited Taylor Hall scored. Taylor Hall scored the first goal of the game for the Canes. Nice little opportunistic goal, kind of a chase down and took advantage of the opportunity. I think we're actually underestimating how important that guy, Taylor Hall, is going to be in the postseason for the Canes. For I don't know if it's fair for Taylor Hall. I'm kind of putting the success of the second line on him. Because if we assume that the line that was out there yesterday, the first line, quote-unquote, yesterday, is the second line in the postseason, Kotkaniemi centering both Svech and Hall, I'm not going to expect a ton from Kotkaniemi and Svech right now. So I have to put a bunch of that weight, a bunch of that responsibility on Taylor Hall. He has to be the creator. He has to put it on a silver plate for his line mates to do something with. He has to be aggressive. He has to be opportunistic. Svech, this is how I'm, again, upset or excited. This is how I am optimistically looking at Andrei Svechnikov. He can give you really good shifts. He can give you really good shifts. I'm not to the point now where I'm going to expect him to play really good, complete, and total games. So it's funny. Usually there's something that happens in the first 15, 20 seconds of his shift, and you go, okay, we got a good shift going here. If that's happening for Svech, Taylor Hall has to create chances. He has to take advantage of it. He has to use that. The best thing I can say about Kotkaniemi over the last however many weeks, he has pretty good chemistry with Taylor Hall. That's kind of the best thing I can say about Kotkaniemi is he has pretty good chemistry with Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall is not what he once was. Like I like to throw around he was a former MVP. He's not that guy anymore, but he is kind of the definition of a wily veteran that knows all the tricks. Right? He can see the opportunities everywhere. And his ability to do that is going to be the ability to do what he did last night, right? Kind of in a chaotic moment, grab a goal is going to be critical in the postseason. I'm as excited as anybody that Aho and Jarvis are buzzing and that Blake's playing well. I'm as excited as anybody that it appears to be, even though he's cooled off a little bit, guys like Jankowski are still ready to seize the moment when the moment comes. But you can't have a second line that doesn't produce and expect to win in the postseason. You can't. And I wish I could look at Taylor Hall and say, you need to take on 1/3 of the responsibility of the second line, but it's not that. Life's tough, get a helmet. It might not be fair. You're going to have to carry more of that weight. The rest of that game yesterday, I liked Nadeau. I really like, if this is a window into the future, I just did however many minutes on guys that have to be able to create opportunities. Nadeau is going to create opportunities. He is a shooter. Ready for a cross-sport analogy? Little bit of Isaiah Evans in Bradley Nadeau, where it's like as soon as he gets over the wall, as soon as he's on the ice, he's looking for a shot, right? He's like, I could be on the ice for 10 seconds. I'm going to let it fly, and I like that about him. And he's got a great release, great pop. Didn't score last night, but you see why people talk about him in the way that they talk about him as a prospect. Canes lost, and I don't want to make it out to be anything other than a loss. But if you're going to trot out, if you're going to skate with 4 AHL guys, a couple guys making their debut, they were in the mix. That was not a blowout.
It was mostly a preseason lineup.
Very much so. What was it, top 7 or 8 guys held out?
I mean, yeah, 2 your top shutdown forwards, your entire top scoring line, and your 2 top defensive defensemen.
There you go. So those guys were all held out, and it was a game. That you can't tell me that Montreal fans watching that didn't have a few moments of like, real funny, guys. Win. Right? When it was 1-1 in the second period and Canes had a couple good looks, I'm like, are they about to go up 2-1 and really make Montreal start sweating? Rod Brind'Amour after the game talked about the game being relatively close considering the lineup changes they rolled with.
We made a couple coverage issues, and they ripped them in the net. That they had their chances, and then I think the game was pretty even. I haven't looked at the scoring chances, but zone time, all that felt like it was after the first period. We did a real nice job, and I think we controlled the face-off. Like there was little areas that we were doing well, and like I said, I think they just the skill. Obviously, Suzuki has all alone in front, can't leave the best player all alone, and he ripped in the net. Right, like that's what they do. So a couple little breakdowns, they took advantage of it, but overall, I thought we did pretty well considering what we were walking into, and the guys weren't missing, obviously.
If there was a bummer, right? What's the opposite of a silver lining? If there was one little, gosh, that stinks. Pyotr let up a couple softies. Pyotr Kochetkov, right? I keep saying like you just need something to get his confidence up. Well, his regular season is done, and in the final chance for him to get his confidence ready, he gave up a couple softies. You can't say that the play in front of him was beautiful and perfect by any stretch, but the goalie's got to have his guys back, and at least the second and third goal I'm looking at going, I would have liked to have seen him stop those. And now who knows when you need him, right? The schedule it's pretty bang 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 bang. When you look at the longevity of the first round, they might need him for a game in the first round if Freddie gets a little worn down. Obviously, if an injury or poor play or something leads to that, you're going to need him, and he's going to be trotting in off of a streak that isn't confidence-inducing, which is a bummer because I'm a fan of his skill set, and you just need to be a little bit more consistent. How about him? A little delay game over the glass. Just you're going to see something unusual in every Pyotr Kochetkov start. He just said, here you go. Boop. All right. I would like to play on the power play. I would like to play against the power play. It was almost a choice.
Just need some extra work here, guys.
I'd like to see some more shots. Here you go. It was, I don't know. You're going to see something unique every time Pyotr's in net. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, brought up a Duke player and a Duke basketball player and a cross-sport analogy there. Let's bring up another one. Caleb Foster announced he is returning to Duke for his junior season. What does that mean for Duke? What does that mean for Caleb? And why should that shut up some of the old-school fans of college basketball? Stick around.
Tonight's forecast calls for Hurricanes hockey.
Svechnikov, tick-tack, tied in Carolina on the man advantage.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7.
Save it, rebound, game over! Sebastian Aho gives Carolina a 4-3 win in overtime.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending and Cary. Over the years, I'm often asked why we made the choice to become one of the only mortgage companies in the state to provide loans without closing costs as a primary source of funding. And my response is always the same. How did closing costs ever become a thing? Who was that first person who asked for a lower rate, heard it would cost $15,000 to save $50 a month, smiled and said, that'd be great? Recently, we're noticing a trend of large national lenders quoting low rates but with a high APR. This is the definition of what happened when that first person asked for a lower rate but ignored how much it would cost. Quotes today are a two-part process. It's not just the rate, but what are the closing costs? At Miller Lending, we simply don't believe you'll keep your loan long enough to realize additional savings. So before you throw away thousands of dollars in needless fees, pick up the phone and call Miller Lending today. 919-447-3377 or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Hey everybody, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. During the NBA play-in tournament, FanDuel is giving all new customers a shot at $250 in bonus bets. Join FanDuel today. You'll get started with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. From three-pointers to steals to assists, FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Plus, after the game tips off, you can even combine live prop bets into a same-game parlay for a chance to win big. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and get in on all the NBA play-in tournament action. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Need CPAP supplies fast? I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers, and we are the Triangle's top sleep provider, offering quick access to the equipment you need for better sleep. Get the right supplies right when you need them. With over 20 years of experience, our expert team is here to help you sleep better, sooner.
Discover why so many trust Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. Visit parkwaysleep.com now and start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun fried whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Up top, Foster, and he hits a three.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The portal did not turn for Duke today. As the portal turns, at least for Duke basketball, taking a day off because Caleb Foster is returning, as he announced earlier today. Little video, little discussion. Caleb Foster going back to Duke. First of all, is Duke really going to give each player like one day? They're gonna let him dominate the news cycle for 24 hours.
Of course. Why wouldn't they?
They plan it like that. Con Knipple yesterday. Caleb Foster announces this morning. My guess is tomorrow morning we'll hear from somebody else. Maybe Malawash is going pro, and it's just they're like you get a 24-hour news cycle each. Duke is a machine that way. They have YouTube views to go for. Caleb Foster returning to Duke, and I don't say this like facetiously at all. That move better be celebrated by this generation today old school basketball fans, right? If you've ever said kids today don't want to compete, you better be saying Caleb Foster is my favorite player. Why? He has not seen his role increase steadily. He's seen his role be taken away at times, right? He was a healthy, did not play in a game late in the season this year. We talked to him last offseason.
It was a game against Wake Forest.
We talked to him last offseason at Media Day. It was about him being the returnee, him and Tyrese Proctor. He was going to be a starter. It was his chance. He had gotten hurt last year and didn't really get a chance, meaning his freshman year, didn't really get a chance to finish the way he wanted. He was excited about it. Came into the year as a starter, playing big minutes, worked his way all the way down to that game against Wake Forest where he was a did not play coach's decision. Even in the second, like in the after that, where he had his little resurgence, he was still playing at times like garbage time minutes. He was playing just a couple minutes off the bench as a spark. He wasn't a huge part of the game. I don't say this exaggerating. I think Duke may be the reigning national champions if Caleb Foster played more in the second half of their loss against Houston in the Final Four. He played really well in the first half, brought some kind of angry, defiant energy, and in the second half wasn't used much, and I think they needed some of that. It is very easy in today's world to hear everything I just said, role fluctuation, sometimes disintegration, the feeling that you could have been used to help your team in a big game and you weren't. It's easy to take that and say, I'm taking my ball and going home. I'm running to some other Power 5 program where I can be a featured player, right? It's not like he would have to run to the mid-major level. He could go to an ACC team and be their leading scorer and wouldn't have to fight that hard for it. But instead, he's returning. He'll compete. He'll improve. And there's no guaranteed role for him next year. Duke's bringing in another top-ranked recruiting class. I guarantee you there'll be a transfer or two. There could be guys like Isaiah Evans. Could be guys like Tyrese Proctor coming back. That's what you want, right? That's what the old guard of college basketball wants. Duke fans can get to know him over years. Just like Tyrese Proctor, he was the young stud freshman. Then he was the sophomore that dipped in production. Then he came back as a junior and scored a billion threes in the ACC and NCAA tournament. Well, let's look at Caleb Foster. He was one of the heralded freshmen, gets hurt, comes back for his sophomore year, sees his role go away, coming back for his junior year as kind of the keeper of the culture for Duke that's going to have to integrate the next bunch of newbies. You know who else deserves credit for this? Not just Caleb Foster. Caleb Foster does for not running from a challenge and, sticking where it might be harder, but it might be more rewarding if he pulls it off. Also, credit to Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Foster played 532 minutes this year. Tyrese Proctor, who he did all the preseason media with, and they were the two veterans, the only two returnees, he played 1,137 minutes. Proctor more than doubled them up, yet somehow Foster felt he gained enough value, enjoyed his life, enjoyed his time on campus enough that he would like to return. There's a new key in college sports, right? Recruiting has always been key. Now it's retaining. It's recruiting and retaining. And it's not like everyone can retain their leading scorer if they have, a ton of NIL money to spend, right? Duke's not going to get, like a mid-major leading scorer is going to go chase money. Duke's not going to get bid by somebody for their leading scorer. Like anybody can keep their leading scorer if you have the money. It's hard to keep a guy that played half as many minutes as somebody who he probably thought was near his equal. And then you keep him around. That means you're providing value to everyone on your roster, top to bottom, even those that are not, ACC all-tournament team picks. Do you know what else I thought was interesting? So they put out the video, right? Do it the Duke way. I think it was a 21-minute video.
Yeah, why not?
I watched it, so credit to them for getting all those minutes watched.
They got you hooked.
Time spent listening. He did say, and I wrote the quote down, I've got a few guys coming back with me to help me set the standard. My first thought went, oh, really?
Go on.
This wasn't a media deal, or else there would have been every hand up. I've got to follow up. Who? Name names, please. But if you're looking at the team, there's Isaiah Evans, Tyrese Proctor are really the only options as far as coming back to be, and obviously walk-ons and guys that didn't get in. Darren Harris, who's a scholarship guy, didn't get in the game very much. But a few. If we count Darren Harris even as one, who else?
Well, Malik Brown is going to be a senior next year, so you anticipate him coming back. Patrick Gongba, Isaiah Evans, like you mentioned. The only people that we know that are guaranteed leaving, guaranteed as of right now, that Mason Gillis, Sion James, they're graduated, they're out of eligibility. So, and then Con Knippel announcing that he's going to the NBA. Now, again, we are assuming Cooper Flag is going to the NBA. Safe assumption. And we're also assuming Common Wallawash is going into the NBA.
I think those are both safe assumptions.
That's it. We don't know about Tyrese Proctor yet. We just haven't heard anything. I'm sure we'll probably hear something either over the weekend.
He'll have his day.
Maybe Monday. Maybe Tuesday when we're at the Plaza at Lenovo Center for Game 2. But again, you mentioned there's no guarantee in his role. There's no guarantee what it's going to be this coming year, but there's clearly a strong bond that was built during this course of the season. I talked to Isaiah, I talked to Caleb Foster at ACC tournament. I talked to Caleb Foster at the NCAA tournament here in Raleigh, and I asked him about, hey, your role early in the season shifted. You know, you started at the beginning of the year, and then your role got diminished, but then you were starting to get some of ththose first guy off the bench, that 6th, 7th guy off the bench in terms of the backcourt. And he said, you know what? Whatever they needed me to do, I embrace it. I wasn't going to complain. It wasn't going to whine. These guys needed me to do this, so guess what? I'm going to do it for them. Like, he clearly had that attitude, and I could tell it wasn't just I'm saying the right thing because it's the right thing to say. It was, hey, this is what's needed of me. I want this team to win. I'm here to win for this school, and he bought into that role.
And by the way, his actions backed that up.
It did.
When he got in the game, he was 0 to 60.
Yes.
If he was out there for 14 seconds, you were getting 14 seconds of ball pressure and driving to the bucket and flexing and everything else. I just think he's somebody that, when people say kids today, I'm always going, not all of them. Some, yes. Highest bidder every offseason are going to hit the portal. They're going to transfer. They're going to chase the highest bidder. Some, yes, if coach threatens them with competition at their position, they're going to leave. They're going to hit the portal. They're going to go look for somebody that'll promise them the easy way. But not all of them. Not all of them. It's what I say about the NBA all the time, right? You can hate super teams. I still think they should be allowed to make super teams, but then those aren't the players you root for, right? You can root for Giannis, who stayed in Milwaukee and didn't go to a big market to form a big three. That's your dude. So if you're somebody that hates the transfer portal and NIL and hates how everybody's chasing selfish individual things, Caleb Foster's your guy. That's who you root for because it's not everybody. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. And by the way, a lot of schools have them. It's just 5 stars to do it are becoming more and more rare. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List, and we have the latest on Alexander Nikishin. We did not have to decipher emojis this time. We have actual facts on Alexander Nikishin and his path to Carolina. So we'll get to all of that coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. America's favorite car show is back. The Good Guys 10th Griot's Garage North Carolina Nationals presented by Tremec. This Friday and Saturday at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. Cruise on out and see over 1,500 of the Southeast's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Autocross racing, a Saturday night demolition derby, vendor midway, live entertainment, and more. This Friday and Saturday at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Details at good-guys.com.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50. Add any size Sprite for $1.49. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
As America's leading business lender, Bank of America is on your corner and in your corner, right here in the Triangle. With $215 billion in business loans and over 3,700 business specialists across the nation, we help businesses thrive so communities prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come and throw it in and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you, hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there. If you ever need us, give us a call. Visit our website at newcombandcompany.com. As you always hear us say, your comfort is our business.
Joint pain in your knees, shoulders, or lower back. It can stop you in your tracks. At DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, we offer a revolutionary course of treatment that can eliminate your joint pain and have you back to your old self in no time. Our regenerative therapies actually help repair damaged tissue to eliminate the pain without risky invasive surgery. If you suffer with joint pain and have been told your only options are medications, steroid injections, or surgery, DaVita Med Spa and Wellness offers non-surgical solutions using your body's own cells with minimal downtime and long-lasting results. Experience personalized, compassionate medical care at its best. Call our office now and see how you can get real, long-lasting relief from joint pain through regenerative medicine and the medical experts at DaVita Med Spa and Wellness, spelled DVIDA. Call 984-333-1313. That's 984-333-1313. 984-333-1313.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and the NBA play-in tournament is almost upon us, and FanDuel is giving all new customers a chance at $250 in bonus bets. Join today, place your first $5 wager. If that wins, $250 of their money belongs to you. Three-pointers, steals, assists, whatever. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. It's FanDuel.com/AdamGold. It's the NBA's play-in tournament. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hello, Scott Forbes, head baseball coach, University of North Carolina. When it comes to choosing a dealership, I stick with Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Growing up in Sanford, I've been fortunate to be lifelong friends with Will Wilkinson. My family and I have been buying and having our vehicles serviced at Wilkinson for many, many years. Great service, competitive prices, and most importantly, a place you can trust. Go where I go. Go see my longtime friend Will Wilkinson at Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have the latest on Alexander Nikishin. We also have 2 minutes of gold from Adam Gold coming your way. But first, it's time for the Dean's List, so let's go ahead and fire up the bell. Class is in session. Dean's List, where we highlight those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise. This one, well, let's start off with a doozy, shall we? The coach, Lee Corso. Lee Corso announced today he'll be retiring from College Game Day and his ESPN broadcaster work, which means no more mascot heads.
Miss those. Gonna miss those, I should say.
You know what I think he should do? Because he announced that he's going to, August 30th will be his last game day. He'll do one more. It'll be week 1. So that way he can say goodbye, right? And I'm sure Herb Street will get emotional and say some words and all of those things.
Proper send-off.
I think he should come back week 2 and go, not so fast, my friends.
That'd be funny.
And then retire again. And just that'll actually be the last time he's on the show.
We're going to get a tribute video, Tim? Get a tribute video?
Retirement is fine. Retirement is A-okay. I assume we will. I assume we'll get... Do you know what's funny? He's been doing, I think they said, like 38 years, 40-something years. He's been doing College Game Day. he's been on game day on so many campuses, and he picks games every time, right? So every single school has a picture of him picking their team, right? So it's, putting on their mascot, and darn near every college football team has tweeted out like, "Thanks, coach. You're always welcome on our campus," with a picture of him, like, where, like Virginia Tech with the Hokie head, or he was in the full wolf pack, like head to toe wolf outfit for NC State. And I kind of wanted to tell him all, like, do you think he only did that for you? He did it for everybody. Like, that doesn't mean he likes you any more than any other team. It just means he was on your campus, like, 17 years ago when you had a good season. But still, he made it fun. I thought that was kind of a cool thread of everyone that was talking about Lee Corso and his retirement. He made it fun, right? He understood it was a game. Sometimes you need, like, Nick Saban breaking down a game where he's, on defense, they need to make sure that they set the edge and keep the quarterback in the pocket. And then you cut over to Lee Corso, and he's just like, "I'm wearing a leprechaun hat." Like, you need to keep it fun also. So shout out to Lee Corso, legendary career. And now you can do like the rest of us, wake up every Saturday and watch College Game Day rather than have to go figure out where they're recording. Next up, I'm actually going younger than college here. This is an elementary school story. Did you see Shelly Ann Fraser-Price?
Who?
She is 8-time Olympic medalist from Jamaica. She is the 2-time women's fastest 100-meter dash in the world. Fastest woman in the world in the Olympics from Jamaica. Her son is in elementary school and had a parents' race where, right, it's funny, like, hey, all right, let's get all the parents on the line, and it's a foot race. She showed up. By the way, she's, like, still a professional sprinter. She missed the last Olympics with an injury, but she's back to, like, world championship level sprinting. She did, like, a full sprinter's workout and dusted the rest of the parents at this elementary school race, which is absolutely hilarious to me, and also makes her son like the coolest guy on the playground for at least a week. It's one of the funnier videos I've seen, and I respect the competitiveness. If you're going to have a parents' race, and one of the parents happens to be the fastest woman on planet Earth, you get what you asked for. The rest of the parents are like worried about popping a hammy. She's flying. So I just wanted to throw that in there. A little Dean's List action. Dennis, do you have a Dean's List?
I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Caleb Foster.
Oh.
For everything we just talked about in the last segment, sticking around at Duke, it would have been perfectly a justifiable decision if he said, you know what, I'm going to go look for another opportunity. No, but he's going to stick it out there at Duke. Props to him. I think he's a really good basketball player. I think he's a really good player.
I wasn't kidding when I said I think if he played more in the second half against Houston, I think they win the game. And then I think they beat Florida. Last one here. Colorado transfer wide receiver Adrian Wilson, who has committed to North Carolina. Eli Lederman, ESPN college football analyst, tweeted this out about Wilson. Wilson hasn't played a down of college football yet, but he has already, since June of 2023, has committed to TCU, Oregon, Arizona State, signed with Colorado, participated in spring practice, hit the portal, recruited by Bill Belichick, committed to North Carolina this morning. I understand people, right, for all the reasons that we just praised Caleb Foster, are going to say this is everything that's wrong. I'll say this. I worked my entire life to play college football. All I wanted was to be able to play for one college football team when my high school career was over. This guy will have already committed to 3, played for 2, and his high school career shouldn't even be over yet. His high school graduating class is in May. Part of it's impressive.
Bruh.
Part of it's impressive. There's high school athletes all over the country that would love for Deion Sanders or Bill Belichick just to call them on one recruiting trip. By the time this guy's high school class graduates, he'll have committed to both Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick. That's got to be worth something, right? Something. There you go. That's the Dean's List. Class dismissed. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Nikishin latest. We do have the latest on where Nikishin is, when he'll get here, which we have more information about. But before we get to Alexander Nikishin, the defenseman prospect that everybody is very excited about for the Carolina Hurricanes, we have 2 minutes of gold from our very own Adam Gold, all about last night's loss for the Canes, but with a very unusual roster. Here's Adam Gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for two players that caught my eye in a 2-goal loss for the Hurricanes in Montreal, and it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. So the two players who caught my eye, Bradley Nadeau, the forward, and Dom Fensor, the defenseman. Both little guys. Nadeau, less little than Fensor, the blue liner, but I thought Nadeau looked bright. I thought he played well. He got in front of the net, believe it or not. And he helped create chaos that led to the Tyson Jost goal that made it 3-2. But what he's really known for is a shot.
Nice play by Nadeau to get it to Hall. Hall drag shoots. Save Montembeault. Rebound. And Montembeault. Oh, merci. What a save on Nadeau.
Well, you get a real taste of Nadeau's release. He did everything but score here. Carolina better in transition for me than they were in the first. Lively rebound, and Nadeau just about makes Montembeault pay, but he does not chase that rebound. What a release, and that shot was labeled. That's on his natural side, too. Would be much easier if Nadeau was a lefty, not a righty. Heck of a release. That was going bar down.
Best save of the night for Sam Montembeault from Montreal, and that kept the game 1-1. That was a big moment for the Canadiens, who clinched a playoff spot. I loved everything about what I saw from Bradley Nadeau. I'll tell you what, Dom Fensor, for a little guy, just 5'7", plays with no fear on the blue line, isn't afraid to stick his nose in, had a couple of hits, but boy, is he good with the puck. Look, I don't know how many little guys can be defensemen in the NHL, but if anybody can, this guy's got a shot because he can skate like the wind, handles the puck really well, might even be able to help you on a second power play unit. The one thing I didn't like about the game last night was Pyotr Kochetkov. He made a bunch of really good saves, but boy, 2 of those 3 goals can't go in. And as the old adage goes, and this was credited with former Hurricanes goaltender and now Hall of Famer Tom Barrasso, you're only as good as the goals you allow, and 2 of the 3 goals can't go in. That is going to be a problem. Oh, Rod, good luck making choices in the playoffs. Let's not beat the brakes off of Freddie Anderson. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off for 2, maybe future Hurricanes.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was 2 minutes of gold with our very own Adam Gold. I do like that. I need to be reminded of that saying. You're only as good as the goals you allow. Right? It's great to make the crazy and over-the-top saves, but you also got to make sure you're making the basic ones.
Yeah, make the routine ones.
Make the routine. We're getting all the sayings. You knew where I'm going with this.
Make the routine plays routinely.
That's the great Mike Tomlin.
There you go.
Got to make the routine plays routinely. If you're a blinker, cut your eyelids off. Mike Tomlin is great for a soundbite. But that is kind of where I'm at with Pyotr Kochetkov, right? I love the helicopter saves where your legs are all over the place. You look like you're doing the what do they call it? The flower and breakdancing where you're spinning. You know what I'm talking about? Legs are in a Y and you're going around in circles. It's great when you look like that and make a save, but sometimes I need you to just cut off the angle. Don't give them the fat part of the goal. Make the save. Like sometimes you just got to do that. Which those last 2 a little soft last night, which is frustrating.
I didn't hate the 3rd goal allowed as much as the 2nd one allowed, personally. Because I think it was...
I mean, if you're ranking the 2, I definitely put them in the order you're talking about.
Yeah, because in the 3rd one that was allowed, there's a guy for Montreal standing right in front of him, and Skylar Brind'Amour is trying to go out and get to the guy on the point. There was a defensive breakdown in the zone, and kind of shoots around Brind'Amour. I mean, so I get he was peeking around Stojakovic, but again, I didn't hate that one as much as a couple of the other ones. There's quite a few defensive breakdowns, which is to be expected when you have a bunch of young guys call it up.
And he made some really good saves.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He made some really good saves. Do not get me wrong. There were a couple breakaways and stuff where it's just like, well, you know, I don't know if it still happens in hockey, but there was the joke in football, right? When you're the quarterback and you just hear an offensive lineman go, "Look out!" that meant it was you one-on-one with a defender, and there was an offensive lineman on their back somewhere, and look out. I wonder if they at least give him the courtesy, right? Like, it's just you back there. No help. You hear that one in basketball. No help, just you, just you. I wonder if you get that one in hockey as well. No help, just you, just you. Piotr's like, I know, guys. I know. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. In better news for the Canes, Alexander Nikishin is on the way. He is on the way. There is only a few places he could be. Earlier today, we learned, and it was RG Sports. It was Match TV, which is a sports broadcasting network out there in Russia. They were on it first this morning. But Alexander Nikishin was approved for the visa to get into the United States yesterday. He had to get an embassy appointment, which he appears to have gotten today. Then it was attached to his visa, whatever that process is. The schedule for his travel was, at the time he was in Turkey. This all happened in Istanbul, I believe. I'm telling you. Canes fans, you didn't know, you had to be up on geography. So the plan was for him to go from Istanbul, once he got the visa taken care of, to Jeddah, which is in Saudi Arabia. From Jeddah, he would then switch planes, or I assume switch planes, after a layover of whoever knows how long. He would then take a flight from Jeddah to New York. From New York, he would switch and then come from New York to Carolina. So, with that all happening this morning, there's only a few places he could be. He could be in the air to Jeddah. He could be in Jeddah. He could be in the air to New York. He could be in New York, or he could be in the air to Carolina. Those are your options. Now, he's not doing this alone. Walt Ruff tweeted this out, a comment from GM Eric Tulsky of the Carolina Hurricanes. Tulsky said, "When we say family, we mean it. Amateur scout Oleg Smirnov traveled to Saudi Arabia to help Alex navigate the city of Riyadh and the embassy appointment. And Earl Schwartz, who manages CBA compliance for us, provided intense logistical support and will be greeting him in New York and bringing him home to Raleigh." Now, I say this knowing all of that. Worth the trouble, right? Worth the trouble. The more trouble a team is willing to go through to get you here, and the more trouble a team is willing to go through to get you here quickly, that tells you what they think of that player. If Alexander Nikishin was a pretty good prospect, was a guy they were hoping would turn into part of the future, they'd tell him, get here when you get here. When it's Alexander Nikishin, do you need someone to push your luggage cart through a random city in Saudi Arabia? We'll send someone to help you navigate it. Do you need someone to welcome you in New York and show you where the gate is to get to Carolina? We'll do that. We'll do what we have to do to get you here because you're 6'4", 215 pounds of youthful elite defense, and we want that here as soon as possible, especially when there is a ticking clock as far as getting him opportunities on the ice before the postseason. Now, we've referenced a few times in the last couple of days here, Ryan Henkel. Ryan Henkel covers the team for the Hockey News, covers the Canes for the Hockey News. He's tweeted out, and let me go ahead and bring this up, with a game tonight in Ottawa and game one on Sunday at 3 p.m., Henkel believes the Canes' next practice would be on Saturday.
Yes.
Which could very well be our first look at Alexander Nikishin in North America.
True.
Could be a practice there. We've hypothesized that there's really only one more opportunity for him to get game action before playing in the postseason, which would be that very same Saturday with the Chicago Wolves in Chicago against the Rockford Iron Pigs.
Ice Hogs.
Yeah, Iron Pigs is the minor league team somewhere. Ice Hogs. It's similar.
It's Lehigh. Yeah,
either one is pushing it as far as getting him ready for the postseason.
Yes.
Right? The postseason, as we said, for those of you that haven't caught the news today, for the Canes, starts Sunday at 3. Easter Sunday, 3 o'clock, home game against the Devils. Dennis is very much not a fan of the start time. It's also, I'm just going to say this, while we're in the complaining mood, the Canes are the higher seed. They get home games 3 o'clock Easter Sunday, and then 6 o'clock on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then I believe the next game, the game 3, would be Friday primetime
at 8 o'clock.
Which team is the higher seed there? You get the home game Friday at 8 when everybody can get off work and everybody can be at the stadium to create an awesome home ice advantage. Meanwhile, the Canes have people rushing from church, will probably still be in their church clothes and wearing their pastels and their church dresses straight from the Easter egg hunt to go be a rowdy hockey crowd. Or Monday at 6, right after the holiday. Everybody's going right into work, probably work until at least 5. Then they got to book it to the arena. I just don't like the optics of the top seed getting the obvious, like, hey, we're going to make it seem like your home environment isn't as rowdy as it is.
And also game 4 next Sunday, not an Easter Sunday, and it's at 3:30.
Yeah, so not super excited with the way the NHL broadcasters did the Canes, but that's outside of your control. You got to win the game to win the game. And maybe Alexander Nikishin will be a part of that. Maybe by next week. Maybe by the games in Jersey.
I mean, Walt Ruff actually just posted a picture 12 minutes ago of Nikishin going up an escalator at an airport.
Do we have any idea? All right, hold on. I've been to a lot of airports. Let's see if we can figure this out.
By the way, Jason Weaver on our YouTube live chat said, what plane is he on? This is where, we've said it before, I know you posted it on X earlier today, we're the NC State fans with the flight trackers. Yep. This is where NC State fans, you all are great at this, tracking flights.
All right, here's my
are you?
Here's my best guess here, and this is just a guess. He is going up escalators.
Yes, he's going up.
You don't traditionally go up escalators where you land, right? You go
Generally
up,
not.
and you're not turning around to somebody kind of waving to say bye when you arrive, right? That's when you're departing. Also, the gentleman to the right in this picture appears to be in some kind of, I'm not an expert, but some kind of Middle Eastern garb, like attire. So I think this is probably him leaving Jeddah.
Yeah, I think he's in Saudi Arabia. At least that's what picture's coming from.
And that was posted literal minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So he's got a long flight ahead of him if he just got on the flight from Saudi Arabia to New York. Then he's got obviously a shorter flight from New York to North Carolina. So let me ask you this, Dennis.
Okay.
I don't know what the flight is. I know it's long. If he gets to Carolina early tomorrow morning, right? Because with the layovers and with everything else, if he gets to Raleigh early tomorrow morning, how are you handling it? Are you sending him to Chicago? Are you keeping him here for practice on Saturday? And does that impact the way you think he'll be used in the postseason, particularly the first couple games?
I think for him, the first thing I'm going to try and do is get him a bed to sleep in with all this travel and everything that's going on. I'm sure he probably just actually wants to just put his feet up for a moment. So assuming that he gets here tomorrow morning, let that guy get some rest.
That's an assumption, by the way. We don't know that. This is hypothetical. We're inferring.
Let the guy get some rest tomorrow. But then I think Saturday, if you're playing Sunday, you never know, knock on wood, an injury happens and you want to throw that guy into the lineup, I want him to practice with my team on Saturday.
Yep.
If we're playing Sunday. If game 1 was Monday, I'd probably send him to Chicago, but that's not the case.
I agree.
And by all accounts, based off this quote from Eric Tulsky that you read from Walt Ruff about saying, Eric Schwartz, who manages CBA compliance for the team, will be greeting him in New York and bringing him home to Raleigh. He ain't going to Chicago.
Yep.
He ain't going to Chicago.
I agree with that as well.
Because, hey, get back on another plane, go to Chicago, play a hockey game, and then get back on another plane and come to Raleigh? Like, nah, that's a little much.
Do you know what I think might be like the most important thing that I want to have happen in the next 24 hours for Alexander Nikishin?
What's that?
I want him to shake Rod Brind'Amour's hand.
Yeah, there's that.
I want him to just have a conversation with his coach, right? I want him to sit down. I want him to eat a meal with the guys. Like, it is a team sport. It is a team sport, and you can't come in and say, well, I played in your system a couple games in the AHL or a game in the AHL, so I know you guys. It's not that. You do kind of have to get to know each other. So practice and just be around, right? Just be around, get rested and those sort of things. And to be completely honest with you, I don't expect the first 2 games. I think it would be tough to expect him in the first 2 games to be ready to play. But if you go up 2-0, and then you have a Friday primetime game on the road, I think a 6'4", 215-pound defenseman might fit in lovely in that Friday lineup if you're up 2-0. 1-1, it's tough to figure out where to – it's double Dutch right now. You know, when you ever watch someone try to get into the double Dutch and they're like, now? No? How about now? No? Now? No? Now? I'm in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like right now, it's now? How about now? No? How about now? You're just trying to figure out where's the right spot to jump in, and then once he's in, you gotta let him, sink or swim. You got to play him. Would have been lovely to get him 2 weeks ago, but can't always have what you want. Alexander Nikishin, though, on the way. On the way. My 4-year-old son just had a birthday party.
Okay.
And my wife and him were up at my in-laws' house like a month ago. And they celebrated, had a cake, got some presents. Then he came back, and on his actual birthday, we celebrated, had a cake, got some presents. Then he had his birthday party that all his friends came through like a week and a half later, had a cake, got some presents. And I had to tell him, I had to sit him down and go like, this is not how all birthdays go. They don't all last an entire month. It does feel kind of like that with Nikishin, where we've had like 4 times where it's like, he's here. It's like, all right, he negotiated his exit from Scott St. Petersburg. Okay. All right, he's been approved for a visa. He's on his way. All right, they booked him for flights. He's on his way. It's like he's had 4 on his ways. Hopefully not how all of these are going to go, but once he gets here, hopefully it's here to stay. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have some tickets to give away, which we will do in our next segment, so pay attention for those. And we have football at 4, the portal turning aggressively for UNC. Football we're talking now. I think it might be by design. Might be Bill Belichick's choice. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
A record in sports that would be a big deal if it was broken and we'd all be in on it is 100 points in a game in the NBA.
Oh, yeah, big time.
If I told you within the next 20 years in the NBA, somebody would score 101 points in one game.
I could see it. Couldn't you see a team just waving the white flag and another team taking advantage of that?
Unsportsmanlike.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. And people are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get up to $13,000 off a new 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Together, let's drive.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom, and that's what we offer at Loan Pronto using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low 5s, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Is going to your local bar the worst part of your day? The bartender ignores you, mediocre food, warm beer? Then why go there? Take 5 minutes and drop in at Sharky's, where they'll give you a free evaluation and you can learn about all the bars that you shouldn't go to. Sharky's has helped thousands find the right bar to hang at. What are you waiting for? Sharky's evaluation could be the cure to the worst part of your day. Change your bar, change your life. Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
Get in the hole!
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. What a beautiful afternoon out there. Goldilocks weather, a high of 72, which is near normal. Sunny skies, lighter winds, and low humidity. Overnight low of 50 degrees, so it's comfortable under clear skies. And plenty of sunshine ahead for the holiday weekend. Our high temperature tomorrow, 83, and our highs will be in the 80s through the weekend.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 527 points to 39,142.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Yesterday, during our show, Ryan Brown was revealed, hit the transfer portal. Now, Ryan Brown, you may be saying, where did he play? You may be saying, gosh, I'm tired of the transfer portal. I can't keep track. Well, we do our best to keep track for you.
Hey, you wouldn't be the first person that felt that way.
Ryan Brown was a Purdue quarterback last year. He committed to UNC and enrolled in UNC in the first transfer window, which was right after the football season, joining Bill Belichick's squad. A couple of days ago, or really yesterday, he went back into the portal to leave UNC. So he will have pictures of himself in a UNC practice uniform during spring practice as his proof that he did, in fact, once practice for Bill Belichick, but he will not play in any games for UNC. Part of me immediately went to, is there not any honor in college football any longer? How can you commit to somewhere and give them 3 or 4 months and then bail? But then it's like, wait a second, this could be a both directions thing, right? He may have shown up expecting to compete and not felt like it was on the up and up. It may have been a team looking at him saying, listen, we'd love to have you as a third stringer, but we're going to continue recruiting over you, and if you want to go, see ya. And then I saw this. UNC football tweeted this out. So this is not UNC football running from anything. This is not me inferring anything. They sent this out. At UNC football, their official Twitter account put up 2 clips or 2 quote graphics. One is from Bill Belichick. It says, "This era of college football is new for all of us. It reminds me of when the NFL introduced free agency in 1993. We've dealt with hundreds of free agents. Some aspects are similar and some are different." So that immediately right there, that end of quote, that immediately right there puts very much we're not treating these kids like students that we make 4-year commitments to. This is like we're treating them like free agents. We're treating them like they have options and we have options. But the real quote that hit home for me came from Michael Lombardi, who is UNC's general manager. This is what he said. We're not just acquiring talent, but building a team. What's best for Carolina football comes first. Sometimes what's best for an individual is not what's best for the team. And that can be taken two ways. One is the old school team first, team always, team only. You have to sacrifice to do what's best for the team. The other is, remember when coaches used to say, and they were lying, but coaches used to say, you know, the wins and losses will come, but the thing that I am most proud of is we develop these boys that we get out of high school into men, and we turn them into good members of the community and set them up for their next level of life. Now, this ain't that anymore. This is, listen, it could be best for you to be here, but if you're not going to help us on the field, deuces. Carolina is going to be run unapologetically like an NFL franchise. And NFL franchises do not worry about you, the person. They worry about you, the person, as much as you can help them on the football field. Right? I keep going back to the scene in Moneyball as a way to describe this, where Billy Beane, Brad Pitt's character, is teaching Jonah Hill's character how to cut somebody. Right? There's a professional GM and assistant GM talking about how to cut a professional, like somebody, and the exercise goes like, well, you know, so basically they role play, right? Like, all right, Jonah Hill, cut me, right? I'm a player, cut me. And he goes, all right, Billy, you know, we're gonna have to move in a different direction. And the first thing Brad Pitt's character does is, what? My kids just got enrolled in a new school. My wife loves it here. We just settled on a house. And Jonah Hill does everything you shouldn't do, right? He goes, well, I wouldn't pull him out of school during the school year. I'd wait till summer and you know, maybe you could then. And Billy said, what are you doing? Right? Listen, here's the contact of our person at that we talked with at the other franchise. They'll be in contact with you. We appreciate everything you did. Right? You need to be cold-blooded if you're going to run a professional organization. You need to be, listen, didn't work out. See ya. Here's who's going to help you with travel plans. And you get the heck out of the room. If that's how professional sports are run, and UNC is calling themselves the 33rd NFL team, that's how they're going to be run. So when Ryan Brown shows up, and I'm just using him as an example because he's the one that got here in January and is leaving the triangle already. If he shows up and he's got dreams of grandeur, and he's going to be, it's going to go Sam Howell, Drake May, little mixture of quarterbacks last year, and then me. And he came riding up and ready to play, and they looked at him and said, listen, it ain't going to be that. Third string. Or we don't have the money we told you because we're going to spend it somewhere else, or whatever it is. That's how professional sports organizations work. You better create value, right? And I was thinking about it with Bo Atkinson as well. Bo Atkinson led UNC in sacks last year. At 7.5 sacks, was one of the more disruptive defenders in the ACC. As it stood this morning, ESPN keeps a running tally of the top players in the transfer portal. As it stood this morning, Bo Atkinson, transferring out of UNC, edge rusher, was the 4th best player in the transfer portal according to ESPN.com. So he's a good player. He's from Raleigh. Went to high school right down the road.
Leesville Road High.
Like right down the road from where we are. And stayed local, right? Beloved player. You love the locals that make good at a school nearby. Has success. He's hitting the transfer portal. And that made me think of all of the beloved franchise legends in pro sports that don't finish their career with the franchise that they be like Dwayne Wade played for Chicago and the Cavs, right? Aaron Rodgers, who knows where he's going to play, but didn't finish with the Packers. LaDainian Tomlinson with the Jets. Like, we could go on and on and on to all of these beloved, ingrained in the community legends that at some point in pro sports you say, as much as we love you, you're not worth what to us what you're getting paid. So see ya. We're not going to re-sign you in free agency. So Bo Atkinson, I believe, is a beloved UNC guy, right? Local, dealing with, like, Kamen Rucker had a bunch of injuries this year. He stepped up and got after the quarterback for a team that the year previous did not have an edge rush darn near at all to speak of, particularly outside of the early game against South Carolina. And he made good on a lot of things. But even franchise legends don't finish their career in the same uniform. When you're being treated like a professional sports franchise, it's cold-blooded and calculated. Here's what we think you're worth. If you're not willing to play for that, or here's what we think your role is. If you want a bigger role than that, you're going to have to go get it somewhere else. Here's the system we play. We don't think you fit into it, right? All of those little things that in years past you couldn't, right? Because you before the portal, before NIL, you just had the players you had, and you had to make it work. So it wasn't a discussion of maybe we should separate. It was a discussion of how are we going to make this work? You know, it's what actually, this might be the best way to describe it. We talk in pro sports a lot about how the long-term contract is marriage, right? And up until that point, you're dating, right? Until you get that, like, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, $50 million multi-year deal, you're just dating, right? You're trying it out. Either one of you can walk away. In college sports, you marry nobody. There's nobody you're married to. Even if you sign an $8 million 4-year deal like Nico Iamaleava signed with Tennessee, both sides can walk away, as you've seen. You're not married to anybody. You're just dating. So you can say see ya, and both sides, again, we'll never know. And I've had this discussion with multiple people that cover the sport, both college basketball and college football. One of the most frustrating things is we don't know who initiated it. You know, like when a celebrity couple gets divorced, big news is like who filed and what did they cite as the reasoning. We never know who filed. Right, we know a player went into the portal. We know they had to put the paperwork in, but we don't know if a coach basically told them to. We don't know that. We don't know if the player went in and made unrealistic demands. We don't know. We don't know what the catalyst was. We just know it's over. I did promise that I'll tell you how to win tickets, right? So let's go ahead and let you know about that. Chris Brown is bringing Breezy Bowl, is that 20 or XX?
Yes.
All right. Breezy Bowl 20 to Carter Finley Stadium on October 14th. That's a name that I don't know how to pronounce. With Jenny Aiko?
Sure.
Jenny Aiko and Bryson. I promise you, I do know who Chris Brown is. I promise you, if you're a fan of this music, you'll know who this is. Jenny Aiko and Bryson. I'll look that one up. Text keyword Brown to 919-860-5326. Chris Brown, I mean, he goes back a long time. I remember dancing to him at middle school dances and still out there filling stadiums. So you know what kind of show that is. Text keyword Brown, BROWN, to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. That's 919-860-5326. To enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the show, sign up now for artist pre-sale access at chrisbrownworld.com. So if you don't win the tickets, you can still sign up now for artist pre-sale access at chrisbrownworld.com. That's what's going on. He's coming October 14th, Carter Finley Stadium. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Gordon Miller and Miller Lending want to make sure you don't waste your money buying down rates that you're not even going to keep very long, right? With where rates are right now, you could realistically buy it down a point, 2 points, 3 points, and then within 4 years see rates drop more than that and want to refi, which means you paid all that money to buy it down and you got just a couple months of lower payments out of it when you could have saved all that money out of pocket with a no closing cost loan. So not only would you not be buying down rates, you would not be paying closing costs of any kind, save that money in your pocket, and when rates drop, refinance again with no money out of your pocket, have an even lower monthly payment, and that fat stack of cash right there sitting in your account, sitting wherever you invest, making you money, right? So Gordon Miller and Miller Lending are all about making sure you don't waste your money. What a novel concept. The number to call if you're more interested, or I should say if you're interested in learning more, is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have the Ladder Challenge, a special pre-playoff edition of Hurricanes and Cons, and we'll be taking your first goal scorer predictions for tonight's game for the Canes against Ottawa. All of that and more coming up.
The Canes are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's Game 1.
Now back out in front, they'll score! Oh, to Jarvis! What a simply sensational setup!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 2, puck drop at 3.
Stahl coming in, and he scores! From the highlight reel, the captain!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $150 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 to 3.8 to 9.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, Greater Triangle area. Chick-fil-A invites you to enjoy a large waffle potato fries on us in the Chick-fil-A app. Join us this week, April 14th through 18th, to get your reward for a large waffle potato fries by downloading or signing into your Chick-fil-A app with location services on in the Greater Triangle market area. Redeem when you order through the Chick-fil-A app at a participating Greater Triangle area Chick-fil-A restaurant from 10:30 a.m. to close. Offer subject to availability. Rewards are single-use only. Limit 1 per person per Chick-fil-A account. See further details in the app.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Mother's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for moms and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry, here to share why Bailey's is consistently voted best place to buy your diamond. First off, our amazing selection of diamonds is unparalleled. We also have hundreds of the most coveted engagement ring styles to fit any budget. You can also utilize our vast selection of loose diamond inventory and custom workshop to create your dream ring. And if that's not enough, we also offer an unprecedented lifetime diamond guarantee. I invite you to come see for yourself. Visit us today in-store or at baileybox.com.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Orlov tries to get a shot through, deflected out in front. Montembeau with a save. Still loose, they score! Tyson Jost cleans up the change. And the Canes are within one. What a tip from Nadeau on the way in.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There is this is not, at least not yet, linked to a Triangle team, but there's some portal news that I just want to pass along. Cal guard Andre Stojakovic is entering the portal. 6'7", sophomore, McDonald's All-American, averaged 18 per game this past year for Cal. We got the chance to watch him in the ACC tournament.
When they played Stanford? Oh.
Dude is a bucket. I watched him in 2 of their games. He is a crafty scorer. Mm-hmm. He is a shot maker. And he's also he's played, ironically, his freshman year at Stanford, his second year at Cal. So he would be a junior, right? Veteran, shot-making, scorer, does a little bit of everything. He is, in case you're wondering about the last name, he is the son of Peja Stojakovic, 3-time NBA All-Star.
He sat right behind us at the ACC tournament, literally like a row behind us.
It was fun hearing him react like a dad, but also like an NBA legend to their basketball events. And fun fact, and who knows, maybe this is why the transfer portal. Mark Madsen was the coach at Cal, who was a member of the Lakers during their Kobe Shaq national or NBA championships. Peja was a member of the Kings that couldn't get past Kobe and Shaq to make it to the finals. So it was the best player on Cal was the son of a guy who couldn't beat the team of the coach of Cal to get to the NBA finals during his heyday with the Kings. So just an interesting deal there. But Stojakovic, if I'm UNC, if I'm Duke, if I'm State, if I'm these teams that are more active in the portal and have a little bit of money to spend, he has a do not contact tag. So I guess you're not allowed to just call him out of the blue. I would use whatever back channels I have to let him know that if you wanted to contact us, we would be open to the conversation aggressively.
Give him my cell, my personal cell, and my wife's cell.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the login to my YouTube TV account if he just wanted to see what, pops up on my often watched list to see if we vibe, like whatever he needs to know. I'll refrain from spoilers on his favorite shows, whatever he needs to know. I think he's a very good basketball player, and he's already had success in the ACC, so I think it would make sense, is all I'm saying. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was a little update. Now let's update our ladder challenge.
Do we have to?
That's actually all right, I'm just going to like accountability. If we were to do the post-game presser after a tough loss, listen, we got to get better. We got to get back to the drawing board. We need to practice. We're not looking good as a team right now. It's no one person's fault. April's been a rough month for us. Both Dennis and I lost our ladder challenges last night. So at least we don't have to suffer in silence, or suffer in solitude, right? We misery loves company. I had the Bulls plus 13.5 over Miami. It was minus 980. Miami smoked them, 109.90. But here's where I really take accountability. I'm pretty sure I had like a brain freeze and placed this bet thinking they were playing against Sacramento, because I said Sacramento has traded De'Aaron Fox, and That's on me. That's just a weird one. I'm pretty sure I bet on the Bulls thinking they were playing Sacramento as I put the ticket down on the Bulls against Miami. So it was a weird mistake on my part, but hey,
whoops.
That's all on me. Also, that's on Jeremy Piven because he told me the Bulls were underrated and were going to surprise some people in the playoffs yesterday when he was on the show. So I blame Jeremy Piven. I blame myself. I blame everybody's got their share of the pie. We'll hit the drawing board and we'll get better. Why'd you lose, Dennis?
Because I needed the Winnipeg Jets and the Anaheim Ducks to score more than 3 goals. I just needed that empty netter from Winnipeg. I didn't get it, so Winnipeg won 2-1.
Any lessons learned here?
No.
Mine is to double check that I make sure the teams that I think I'm betting on are
actually playing each other?
the teams I'm betting on. Maybe yours would be, it's tough picking teams that have absolutely no motivation on how they're going to show out in a hockey game. But I'm sure you're going back to one of those today.
I am.
So at 0-0, go ahead, lead us off. Well, while you do that, I'm going to double check to make sure the game that I'm betting on is the one that I think I'm betting on.
An old Original Six matchup, the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. Leafs have nothing to play for. The Red Wings have nothing to play for. So that's why I'm going to go over 3.5 goals. Over 3.5 goals.
Defense
scored.
Optional kind of night?
Yeah, you never know.
All right.
That's a minus 750. So I'm going to go over 3.5 goals scored. So that $10 of mine will turn into $11.33 because it's a minus 750.
I believe mine is minus 500. Or minus 900.
Oh, okay.
Let me get all that correct.
Do you know who you're betting on?
I do. I just double checked.
Okay.
I am betting on Ja Morant, a member of the Memphis Grizzlies, who is playing against Dallas. That is in the do or die, win or go home play-in game. 30 or more points plus rebounds plus assists for Ja against Dallas. What have we been learning? Stars show up in big games with high volume. They want the ball in their hands. Ja Morant is that guy for Memphis. What do we know about Dallas? Everybody hates their GM. What do we know about Dallas? They traded away their good players. They did bring in Anthony Davis.
They're all hurt.
But Ja Morant is not going to be guarded by Anthony Davis very often. Memphis had the night off last night. Dallas had to play and lost, ironically, to Sacramento, who I thought was playing against the Bulls. So I've realigned all of my NBA information, and I'm taking Ja Morant 30 or more points plus rebounds plus assists versus Dallas. And Dennis, I'm going to say it, I think he might get 30 points by himself. I think it might be 30 points, not need the rebounds or assists to hit, so I will be placing a side bet on that just to get back in rhythm. If it hits, my $10 will turn into $11.11. That's got to be good luck, right? 11-11? Did you ever do that wish thing, right? When the clock hits 11-11, you make a wish. $11.11 is my possibility here. Gosh, we're starting over in the second half of the month. Is a really rough one for the ladder challenge. That's the ladder challenge. Let's move on.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
Few things before we jump in. Number one is, I don't know if everybody recognizes this, but that intro is from Mighty Ducks D3. Shout out to Coach Riley, teaching them a little bit of defense. Second thing, we do have first goal scorer predictions coming up. So at 4:33, we will open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline. You need 2 things if you call in. 1, a name of who will score the first goal for the Canes tonight against Ottawa, and 2, the period in which it will be scored. And we would like for you to bring a optimistic attitude and some fun as well. But that's your choice. The thing you need to bring is the name of the player that will score the first goal for the Canes tonight and the period in which they will score it. Now let's jump into Hurricanes and Cons. It is pre-playoffs. Going into the postseason, what are you most confident about and what are you most concerned about for the Carolina Hurricanes? As always, I got good news and bad news. Which do you want? You take the bad news first, so we'll start with concerns. Dennis, why don't you lead off because I have a feeling they're going to be the same.
I have a couple.
Okay.
I have a couple concerns. I'll pick one. I think you're probably going to say goaltending.
Yep.
I'm going to say secondary scoring. Because right now, we saw Taylor Hall score yesterday. You hope that he is that leading scorer possibly on that second line. But again, the last time Andrei Svechnikov scored a goal against a goalie was February 22nd. It's April 17th. It's 2 months since he scored a goal against a goalie. 2 months.
And he did play yesterday.
Exactly, and he played yesterday. So I have major questions about what the secondary scoring is going to look like. I don't even know if Jack Roslovic is going to even be in Game 1 lineup. I in all seriousness, I don't think he's going to be in the Game 1 lineup. That's a real possibility.
In Kane's Twitter, Jost is having a moment. They want him over Roslovic, which would push Roslovic even further down.
That's not going to happen.
And it's not going to happen. I'm saying in Kane's Twitter, he's having a moment.
Well, he has more goals recently than Roslovic, Tyson Jost does.
I think they still just like that he got so down and dirty against the Caps, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, which, hey, you earn some cred that way. But even Jack Roslovic, the first people say, well, he's a 20, 21 goal scorer this season. 12 of those goals came in the first 20 games of the year. The last 60, 9, that's it. 9 goals over the last 60 games. Only 4 of them have come this calendar year. The secondary scoring is dry right now on this team. It has to be more than just Aho, Jarvis, and Blake on the top line that scores. Whether that comes from the blue line, whether it comes from Logan Stankoven, and whomever.
The thing is you need secondary scoring so your third and fourth and fifth level scoring makes sense, right? If your second line is scoring a bunch, then anything you get from Jankowski is just a bonus. If your second line isn't scoring, you need Jankowski to be like a goal every other game, and that's not fair to him because that's not who he is career-wise, although, obviously better since he became a Cane. Mine's goaltending. It's going to be that until proven otherwise. Just the nature of the position is so important, and that's just like if I were Rod Brind'Amour, that's what would be keeping me up at night, and I just know that's the case. That's my concern. Let's get to the fun part. Dennis, what's your confidence?
My confidence is that the system that the Carolina Hurricanes run will always keep them in games. And that's the only thing you can ask for in a playoff setting is, do we have a chance to win the game? Simple as that. They will always be in it. Very rarely do they get blown out in the playoffs. And even like a single game. The only one I can remember recently, I think, was Game 4 against the Devils a couple of years ago. They lost, I think it was 6-2, but then they blew out the Devils in Game 3 and in Game 5.
There have been a couple that maybe felt like they were going that way, and then dramatic comebacks happened and all that sort of thing.
I don't think they're ever really been out of it. To me, it's the system that they run will always keep them in games.
I'm going Aho Jarvis. And right, the thing is, if you run that system that Dennis just talked about, you're going to be in it. You do need the guys that score the one goal at like. If you're gonna be in 2-1, 3-2, 2-2, 2-3 games, 1-2 games so often, you do need kind of those guys that are like when you get a late power play, get the timely goal, right? When you have 3 minutes left in the game, get the timely goal. Aho and Jarvis have been that as of late, right? I mean, obviously, Aho's been great in overtime this year. But even so, like when they're out there, when you need a goal, right? When they're playing the game a handful of games ago, where you knew all they needed to do to clinch the postseason was get to overtime, and then Jarvis makes the unbelievable defensive play, whips around, starts attack, gets Aho on the left side, right back to him and scores. It's like that timely goal when you absolutely need it is sometimes missing for the Canes in the postseason, which is why they keep games close, but they haven't quite gotten over the hump. I'm optimistic that Aho and Jarvis can fill that role this year better than they've done in the past. And partially just because 1 year older, 1 year through it again, right? Jarvis is a 23-year-old. He hasn't been around for this whole run here by Rod and the squad. And Aho is obviously another year older as well. So there you go. Hurricanes and cons. Hurricanes and cons. My phone just thought I was calling for it. Started talking to me. Those big brothers always listening. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, the Fan, little pre-playoff Hurricanes and cons. We'll continue doing that through the postseason, which hopefully is a nice, long, extended run through the postseason for the Canes. Right now, let's go ahead and fire up some first goal scorer predictions, shall we? Right now, we will open up the phone lines. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5339. 866-860-5326. Who will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes, and in what period will they score it? Call in now. You need both of those pieces of information. If you're one of the 3 official contestants that we take on air and you get it right, you will win an Apex Racing Lab gift certificate. The ultimate sim racing experience is at Apex Racing Lab. Rev up your engines at Apex Racing Lab, the Triangle's largest sim racing destination. Experience the ultimate thrill with 20 cutting-edge simulators, expert instructors, and world-class virtual tracks. It's all located in Carey's McGregor Village in Greater Raleigh. Visit Apex Racing Lab today and unleash your racing passion. Learn more at apexracinglab.com. That's apexracinglab.com. If you don't get through on the phone lines, you can still compete for the glory and honor of being right. You won't get the prize if you get it right, but you can still compete and compete for bragging rights by heading to our 99.9 The Fan YouTube live stream, and right there in the comments, you can leave your prediction. Who will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period? And just so you know, we do like additional details. Will it be on a power play? Will it be off a rebound? Will it be on an assist from another particular player? You can always throw in more details. It makes it more fun. On the phone lines, they are filled up. Our first contestant is Taylor in Holly Springs. Taylor, thank you very much for calling in. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
All right. I think I'm going to go Roslovic in the first.
All right. You just heard Dennis give a whole bunch of stats on how he hasn't been scoring as much recently, so you think he's due?
I think it's his comeback game.
All right. Roslovic, you said in the first?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to give any more details? Is it any, from a assist from a particular person? Is it a clapper from the dot? Let us know.
I don't want to be wrong, so I'm not doing any details.
All right. You should be a member of the media. That's what you should be. Appreciate it for calling in. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you. We go back to Holly Springs. Brian in Holly Springs, you are up next. Who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
Okay, I'm going with Nadeau. It's going to be in the first period, and I think it's going to be on a power play. I think that, of course, Fetch, he's going to be in the box. But I think it's going to be because Fetch was defending Nadeau.
So, okay, hold on. So you're saying it's a shorty. It's a shorthanded. They're going against the power play. All right.
Yeah.
I got you. So shorthanded goal for Nadeau, who's out there on the kill. All right. I like the specificity. If it's Nadeau in the first, you will get the win. But I like the prediction.
I don't think Nadeau kills penalties.
No, I don't either.
But you know what? Why not?
Crazier things have happened.
This game doesn't matter.
Rod's going crazy. But if you get Nadeau in the first, you get the win.
Let's get weird with
I like it. All right, David and Raleigh, last one here. Appreciate it, Brian. David, stay on the line, by the way, Brian. Dennis has to get some info. David in Raleigh, you're up next. Who scores the first goal and in what period? Oh, no. That did not sound good for
I
David.
think that's the sound of David dropping. So we need one more contestant.
All right, call right in right now, 919-860-5326. That sounded like the internet going out in 1998.
Get off the phone.
Yeah, very much. So, Mom, you logged on to the internet. I was just about to make my first goal scorer prediction.
But we do need one more contestant.
Yeah, we need one more. 919-860-5326. Call in quick. The very next caller will go straight onto the air and get to make a prediction on first goal scores. 919-860-5326. Sorry to David. That is a bummer for you. But one man's missed opportunity is another man's opportunity. That means Jim in Hillsborough, you are up. Jim in Hillsborough, who scores the first goal and in what period?
I am going to go with KK in the first. Dirty goal tonight again.
All right. Dirty, grimy goal from KK. Appreciate it. We will we'll lock you in, and if you win, you'll be getting a sweet Apex Racing Lab gift certificate. Stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you. I know we were joking about Brian's pick being Nadeau shorthanded because he doesn't usually kill penalties. I do think that not maybe that crazy. I'm not quite walking out there with Brian, But I do think there's a possibility for some unusual lines and everything, right? Rod Brind'Amour, by the way, don't tell him these games don't matter. You saw it last night when Jost was called for using his hand in the playing it with his hand off the faceoff. Rod was not a coach that was arguing with the ref like, hey, this game doesn't matter, but I'd like for you to know I disagree. That was a coach that was fired up. When he got in Skylar Brind'Amour's face a little bit during a moment on the bench, that was not a dad that was like, hey, son, this is cool. We get to look at this debut thing. That was somebody that was talking to his his center about how he wanted penalties to be killed. So they matter. These games, Rod Brind'Amour is trying things. He's doing things with a purpose. I would not be surprised if you see some experiments with lines and things because he's always evaluating. He's always trying to figure out who plays well with each other. He's always trying to figure out something that can help them in the future. So while I don't think we'll see Nadeau killing penalties, you may see a unusual penalty kill lineup or something like that. You may see Nadeau playing with a different player than maybe you saw at morning skate or whatever that is. So it could be fun. Could be fun, right? It's not just a game that doesn't matter in the standings. It is still a game, and NHL games cannot be simulated, so you don't want to waste any of them. Dennis, where are you going with your first goal scorer prediction?
This one's a hot one I said it yesterday. Obviously, Brian and Holly Springs said it. This is a hot one on our YouTube live chat. Give me Bradley Nadeau in the first. That dude put up 6 shots on goal yesterday in 13 minutes of ice time. The guy's going out there just hunting shots.
Microwave off the bench, baby. Microwave.
That.
Instant offense. So you have Nadeau in the first. Do you want to give us any details?
I think it's going to be off a 3-on-2 on a rush.
Okay.
3-on-2 coming down the left wing.
I'm going for a player who has been waiting all year to turn it on. He's just been biding his time. Some even think he may have been having some down stretches.
Huh.
Yes, Barry Kokiniemi in the first, baby. I'm talking about something pretty. Some stick handling, maybe some kind of some straight dangle sauce that ends with a barred down wrister. I'm looking for Kokiniemi to say, I've waited long enough, 11 goals in 77 games. Many of you might think that's my best. No. Just getting ready for the postseason. It's time to turn it up. Yes, Barry Kokiniemi in the first, highlight reel. We're talking SportsCenter top 10.
Okay. He has not scored a goal since February 1st.
He's been saving his goals since February 1st.
So he's due.
That's what he's been hurt for a little bit, right? I mean, that's not a full faith stat. He missed some games.
So did Svetch. He hasn't scored since February 22nd.
All right, you're right. We should be softer on Svetch. I don't know why you're being so mean to him. He's missed some games.
I calls it like I see it.
Kokiniemi in the first.
Hey.
I'm by the way, 90% of what I'm saying right now is me trying to speak it into existence. Just trying to put that energy into the world. I'm ineligible for prizes, so I can't win the Sweet Apex Racing Lab gift certificate anyway, so I might as well use this as kind of let's put it into the universe.
Let's see. Robert said Jankowski in the first. Jay said Nadeau in the second. Comebred said Nadeau in the first. Also, Levi said, running it back, Nadeau in the first. He's going to score. It's a guarantee. And then, actually, Colbert said,
I don't disagree that there's a really good chance Nadeau is going to score tonight.
Yeah. He's going to play a ton.
He's going to play a bunch, and he's going to get shots up. But part of the reason being hey, I'm confident he's going to score is because of volume.
Yes.
I think he'll get 8 shots on goal and 10 shots on goal, something crazy. But if that's my reasoning for him scoring, that might not be the first goal, right? It's a numbers game. He's going to keep firing until he scores, which might not be the first one.
By the way, Comebred said Rod in the squad. I guess you said Rod in the squad.
No, did I?
I think so. Rod in the squad. That could be on a T-shirt.
I like that. Rod in the squad.
Rod in the squad?
Stumbled into it. Put it on a T-shirt. Rod in the squad.
Let's go.
Rod the bod. Rod in the squad. There's something going on there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's something else going on here, and that is Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Put that on a T-shirt. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, and the squad. Owner Brett, their owner Brett and the squad. All right, now I'm just gonna talk about Maynard Service Company. We don't have to be cute with slogans and T-shirts for Maynard Service Company. because it's right there. The facts are the facts. They're prepared. They're highly trained. Their technicians are ready to roll 24/7 all across the triangle. They are ready to help you, right? Fix, maintain your heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, all of it, right? Full home services. Go ahead and give them a call at 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. It's all happening. Maynard Services. Check them out online, maynardservices.com. We'll be back with a little feedback frenzy coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50 at any size Sprite for $1.49. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Body Armor State Games are coming to Greensboro this June. Registration is open to athletes of all ages and skill levels in 20 different sports. The Body Armor State Games feature 11,000 athletes and 600 teams. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Visit bodyarmorstategames.org today. The Body Armor State Games are proud to partner with Truist, Lowe's Foods, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low fives, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Struggling to get the sleep treatment you need? I'm Megan Giggling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. You shouldn't have to wait for better sleep. Our streamlined process provides for sleep studies, CPAP machines, and supplies, without the long delays you'll find at other sleep centers. At Parkway Sleep, we'll help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve.
With over 20 years of experience, join countless satisfied customers who have discovered the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Adam Gold and I am in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I always joked, gutter helmets, can I get one that fits my head? They don't go on your head, they go on your house, and they make sure that you never have to clean your gutters again. Who invented this? This is a great product.
Well, I don't know who invented it, but it is a great product. It can go on the existing gutters. If you need new gutters, we can also put it on new gutters too. We can take care of any wood rot or anything behind the gutters, and we can take care of any possible problem that we may run into when removing those gutters, because oftentimes they haven't been working for a long time. You may have rotten soffits, rotten fascias, rotten gable ends. So we'll take a look at that when we take the gutters off. And the gutter helmet is going to go over the first shingle, under the second, and it allows enough surface tension where the water clings onto it, water rolls into the gutter, debris falls off to the ground.
That sounds better than getting in the bucket of a tractor. I'm just saying. 800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
Lufthansa is excited to take off from Raleigh-Durham International Airport, connecting you to destinations like Germany, Italy, India, and beyond. Say yes to incredible journeys. Book today at Lufthansa.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's a Thursday. It feels like a Friday because there's a lot of stuff going on. So let's go ahead and just jump into a little feedback frenzy where Dennis looks through all the comments, all the social media, all of the YouTube comments that the feedback you give us, listeners give us, and we respond. This is your chance to fire back. Tell us we're right, wrong, indifferent, argue, ask questions, whatever it is. Dennis, what do you have?
All right, so we had a conversation earlier in the show about Caleb Foster coming back to Duke.
That we did.
And the question is, we brought the conversation, who else might be returning for Duke?
Yep.
This one comes from JB Duke 23. This is on our YouTube live chat. In the YouTube comments under the video we posted about this conversation. Saying Caleb Foster must know Isaiah Evans is leaving. Referring to Caleb Foster coming back.
I'm not even sure they play the same role.
I don't think they do.
Caleb Foster, to me, is very good perimeter defender, more of a slasher, likes to get to the bucket, likes to finish with a difficult layup package. Isaiah Evans is tall, lanky, shooter. It's almost, I think they would actually complement each other well as perimeter players, right? One's providing spacing, one's trying to eat up the real estate and get to the bucket. So that's offensively. Defensively, I don't think they're very similar at all. So I think that it might mean that there's like minutes available, but it also might just mean Caleb Foster's willing to battle whoever he has to, whether it's the perimeter-oriented Boozer incoming, whether it's some of the other freshmen, if Proctor's coming back, whoever it is. There's only so many minutes to go around, but I don't think it necessarily means anything about Evans.
All right, yesterday we had a conversation about UNC football. We saw Bill Belichick see a lot of guys enter the transfer portal, including Ryan Brown, a quarterback that came from Purdue just a few months ago, but is now already back in the transfer portal. This one comes from Delonte Duval. Delonte says, I'm fully confident in Bryce Baker as our starter at quarterback on opening day.
Listen, Bryce Baker is a very, very highly thought of incoming freshman.
4-star recruit.
What I will give you is he does not, like, certain freshmen show up and it's very obvious, like, okay, you need 14 months in a college weight room before you're Bryce Baker. He's ready to go. He's physically able to play. The only counter I would say to that is Bill Belichick's history doesn't scream like cool with freshman mistakes. His history screams like I'd rather have a less talented game manager that I know what I'm going to get than a super talented, super high ceiling, super future of the program youngster. I don't know. We'll see. Bill Belichick has done a lot of things to surprise me since he took over for UNC. So maybe I don't know him like I thought I did. But I'd be very interested in watching a season of Bryce Baker. I think he's a tantalizing prospect. And it might be one of those deals where if you play him now, you get a better sophomore and junior year version, and that might be what they're planning for, to really make a run in the next couple of years rather than this year.
All right, we had a conversation a couple of days ago about will Alexander Nikishin play in the playoffs for the Carolina Hurricanes?
We did.
Should he play in the Hurricanes? Jared Werner says Alexander Nikishin should 1 billion%, make sure I got all the zeros here correct, should 1 billion% play in the playoffs instead of Brent Burns. I think that's a lot of sentiment coming in from a lot of people. But this next comment comes from Kevin Baker. Kevin Baker says, as much as I want to see Alexander Nikishin contribute in the playoffs, it's hard to imagine who they would bench for him. Burns won't happen. Rod is too loyal. Only other guy I could see is Dmitry Orlov, but even that is a long shot. Most likely he will play maybe some games in Chicago. We'll see.
I'm torn here because I agree that I don't think Burns is coming out of the lineup, in part because of the relationship with Rod, the loyalty, and he's played 1,500 career games, essentially.
Yeah.
Not including postseason, and that experience is valuable in the postseason. I see the same thing with Orlov. Orlov's got a cup. Orlov's been down these roads before, and it's tough to take that off the ice. But at the same time, my logic is telling me I don't know if the Canes go through all this trouble if they're not anticipating getting him on the ice for the postseason, right? Why go through all this rush if you're just going to get him here to play a couple AHL games? So, or an AHL game, right? If he plays on Saturday, it's the last one he can play in the AHL because he wasn't on the team at the point during the pre-trade deadline where you need to play in the postseason. So I think Nikishin's going to go play. Am I wrong to think that it's probably Orlov? That's the one that he's playing in for?
That's the safe assumption.
Yeah, like that's kind of where I'm leaning. If it is Burns, I'll be surprised. I'd
be shocked.
I wouldn't think it's the worst idea, but I would be extremely, extremely surprised, and I'm not anticipating it at all.
Got to spare quarterback's your top power play. He's not coming out. Brent Burns is the quarterback on your second power play. You could put Sean Walker on that second power play if you wanted. Sean Walker's playing his best of the season right now. You're obviously not taking out Slavin.
Yeah, he contributed to the Taylor Hall goal last night, even though he didn't get the assist.
Yes. So you can also, Jalen Chatfield is one of your top shutdown defensemen.
I'm a big Chatty fan. I'm not taking him out.
So you're not taking him out. So the only one that's logical is probably just going to be Orlov.
Yep.
All right, final one here real fast. We had a conversation a couple days ago about the Carolina Panthers and the upcoming draft, which is 1 week from today, by the way.
You're darn right.
How they have to be smart in terms of trading back. This one comes from Seahawk Tua. Seahawk Tua says, Carolina should trade down.
Did you catch the pun there?
Seahawk Tua? Oh, yep.
Yep.
There's that. Now I do. Carolina should trade down and take Tetero McMillan later in the first round.
That's one. Listen, from 5, all right, maybe 6, depending on what you think of Shedeur Sanders. From 5 to 25, I don't think you can confidently know where someone's going to get drafted. If you want Tetero McMillan, you're going to have to take him at 8 because he might not be there at 13. He might not be there at 12. Right? He might be there at 21. But he might not be there at 11. You know what I mean? Because it's such a kind of plateau. So if you want Tet McMillan, you can trade back with the goal of getting Tet McMillan, assuming there's somebody that wants to trade up with you. Have a plan for if McMillan goes like 9 to the Saints, right? If someone trades up, they take Shedeur, which is, I think, the most likely trade, right? Somebody trying to jump the Saints to take the quarterback. And then if the Saints could take Tetero McMillan right there and go, all right, if we don't have a quarterback, at least we should get set up for whoever's going to play quarterback to be able to throw jump balls all day. Let's get McMillan. So then you better have a plan for somewhere else to go. The funny part is this year on air, I've been as vocal as I've ever been about how much of a nerd I am for the NFL draft. And I also then have to turn around and say, this is the year where I can predict less of the NFL draft than all of the others that I've paid attention to. It's pure chaos out there. Outside of top 4 or 5, depending on what you think of Shedeur. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I can tell you this. There was some chaos in the watch bracket we ran earlier this month, or last month into this month, with Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. And the watch bracket was so chaotic because it was all greats, right? We had what was it? A Rolex Explorer right out the gate up against Omega Speedmaster, 2 of the most iconic watches ever, right? It would be as if you made it to a college basketball tournament, and instead of like, oh, this year's 1 seed against this year's 16 seed, it was like the best team from 97, the best team from 2002, the best team from 1972. You put them all in a bracket, so it was just all icons and legends, and then you had to pick who the best was. We ended up with the Rolex Daytona being the winner. It defeated the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, which are 2 iconic watches in the championship, but that was my watch bracket. I decided the winners. If your watch bracket came out with a different winner, you want to go try that winner on. You want to go try your champion on. You want to go see how it feels, what it makes you feel like to have such a dynamic statement piece on your wrist. Give them a call. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. You can also look them up online, baileybox.com. But if you take my advice, go out to Bailey's Fine Jewelry, their Village District location in Raleigh. You can try on all the legendary watches from the watch bracket. It was a pretty fun time, and you should enjoy it as well. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Let them know you heard about it right here on 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting five coming up next, and we tell you if somebody won the $10,000 in the 10K playoff payout. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Is your heating and air system ready for the changing season? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned Cajun-fried whole breast tenderloin fillets, choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, and the NBA play-in tournament is almost upon us, and FanDuel is giving all new customers a chance at $250 in bonus bets. Join today, place your first $5 wager. If that wins, $250 of their money belongs to you. Three-pointers, steals, assists, whatever. FanDuel.com/AdamGold. It's FanDuel.com/AdamGold. It's the NBA's play-in tournament. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, score the confidence you need to start your journey with the power and exceptional capability of a new Ford F-150. With available smart tech like Pro Power on board, it's game on when F-150 is part of your team. For great offers and to learn more about a new Ford F-150, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today. Always consult the owner's manual for important operating instructions.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRL meteorologist Mike Mays. Temperatures are on the rise. More so tomorrow and into the holiday weekend. Tonight's low around 50. It's mostly sunny and breezy. 83 for your Friday, 89 Saturday, Easter Sunday, up to 88 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell, down 527 points to 39,142.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Do you know what I'm you know how like New Year's resolution or something, or like I'm just trying to turn over a new leaf? I'm not going to pay attention to crystal ball predictions on 247 Sports about recruits until there's like 3 of them. Because right now there's one for Nate Ament, who's the 4th overall recruit in the country coming out of high school basketball. His final 5 includes Duke, so I have some people that are sending it to me. He has a crystal ball prediction to Tennessee. And I'm going like, well, guess what? We made a whole big deal out of Nico Iamaleava having a crystal ball prediction to UNC. And 2 seconds later, he's at UCLA. So I'm going to try to do my best to not overreact to crystal ball predictions until there's like 3 or 4 insiders saying somebody's going to go to the same place. Then we can start talking about it. So for those of you sending me the Nate Ament crystal ball prediction saying, like, guess he's not coming to the Triangle. Yeah, he might not be. Maybe he is going to Tennessee. Also, maybe one insider got a whiff of some bad info. Just want to get that out of the way. Now let's get to the starting 5. And as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yesterday, we had our 10K playoff payout shootout at Invisalign Arena, where 5 contestants had the opportunity to shoot from the far blue line out there on the ice. They got the puck, they got the stick. They had to shoot from the far blue line into a tiny little opening in the goal all the way at the other side of the ice. If any of them made it, they would have won $10,000. If 2 of them made it, they would have to split it. But it is, and I do not say this lightly, it is electric when it happens. Like, granted, it's a tough shot to make, right? I'm not being, it's not likely to happen, although it did happen a couple years ago, right? So it has been made, and somebody did win the 10K. But when we're sitting around watching and the contestants are getting ready to shoot, you feel the intensity in the room. It's the closest most of these contestants are going to get to, like, lining up a tee shot on Augusta on 18 with the crowd lining the tee box. Like, you sense everybody kind of go like, this is for $10,000.
But no one got it.
Nobody got it. The first 4 were kind of way off. The last one, though.
Yeah, Alex.
He was 2 or 3 inches off.
Mm-hmm.
And, right, Dennis, you were down at the goal. I was back where they were. Oh, no, you were up at the goal for this one, too.
Yeah.
When it was like halfway down, I thought there's a decent shot.
Oh, yeah.
They you had the thought of, oh my gosh, this guy may have just won 10,000. The others, it was very quickly like, nope, way left. One of them hit the camera, which was set up like 10 yards left of the goal. But that one, it was halfway. It was 3/4. It was like, it's got a shot, and it just didn't make it.
If you go follow us on social media, 99.9 The Fan, for example, on Instagram and other places, we actually have a video posted of all the shots and everything like that. And shout out to Caleb, who actually won a pair of tickets to Game 1 on Sunday. And also everyone that did participate all got something at least. Actually multiple things. And one of our contestants, I think it was Luke, won a Mark Jankowski signed puck as well. So we gave stuff away.
We gave away a bunch of stuff. There were playoff tickets. There was the Mark Jankowski signed puck. There were Sport and Social gift cards. Like, we understand.
Swag.
Yeah, we understand that you're showing up and, you want to leave with something. So, but it was fun. Thank you to all the listeners. If any of you were listening, we had a good time. You were all great sports about it. And hopefully we'll get to do it again. And hopefully there will be some opportunities for some others of you. You can't do it again if you didn't get it this time.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's some opportunities for more of you to get in on the fun.
Games keep winning.
Are we allowed to say that we do this?
I mean, that's the plan.
The plan is
no guarantees. Don't
that
quote me.
We're gonna do this for once every playoff series.
Yeah, once every round.
So, hopefully the Canes take care of business against the Devils, and then we get the chance to feel that electricity once again. That's number 5. Let's hit number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. All together.
Dribble to save the possession. Up top, Foster. And he hits a 3. Caleb Foster returns to Duke. He announced earlier today. First of all, I think it's very good for Duke. I think it's admirable of Caleb Foster. And he is betting on himself, right? Do you know what's an underrated part of this, and we haven't talked about it? I think it speaks on the trust between players and John Shire. Because part of returning is saying, I'm going to earn a role, right? At times this year, Caleb Foster was taken out of the rotation. He was playing in garbage time only. He did get a DNP, a did not play coach's decision. So him returning is saying, I'm betting on myself to work hard, develop, and earn a role where I will play more next year. Now, I can speak from firsthand experience, having talked to college athletes a ton over the last 15, 20 years. If somebody is not playing, there is not always trust in the coaching staff that they are not playing because somebody else is a better fit, because somebody else is a better talent, because someone else is practicing better. A lot of times it's, I'm not playing because they don't like me. I'm not playing because politics. I'm not playing because he's getting more of this, or I'm not playing because that. So to say, I didn't play this year as much as I want to, and I'm going to stay at the school with the expectation that I play more next year, you're trusting the coach that if you prove yourself, they're going to play you. That's trust that doesn't happen in many programs. It takes a lot of a very, very healthy relationship to get benched by a coach and not hold it against the coach. So shout out to Shire for having that kind of relationship with Foster, and shout out to Foster for betting on himself that he's going to go out and earn the playing time. This is what people want to see from this generation. Just because he can leave doesn't mean you have to. Just because he can transfer doesn't mean at the first sign of adversity or the second sign of adversity you do transfer. Foster returns. And then lastly, does it bother you at all that he had to make an announcement that he wasn't transferring when he didn't hit the portal? He didn't say he was transferring. He's just a sophomore that's becoming a junior. And he had to say, like, I'm coming back, everybody. Just.
It's where we are.
Yeah. Like every single player, every single year has to announce, I'm not leaving. I'm scheduled for class next year. Like, I want to finish my degree. I'll be around. That's number 4. Let's hit number 3.
'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again.
Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
There you go. Actually, Dennis, since
from Armageddon.
I was gonna say, was it? I didn't know what it was from, but I recognized it. Do you want to go and explain to everybody why you started us with a little? That was Steve Buscemi, right, in the mix there?
Oh, it was Ben Affleck, Steve Buscemi,
the guy from The Green Mile, Michael Clark Duncan.
Yep.
Coach Yost from Remember the Titans is in that movie.
He is.
Do you want to explain to everybody why you chose that particular sound clip to bring us out of the starting 5?
Yeah, pretty simple. One sentence. Alexander Nikishin, Carolina Hurricanes prospect, is on a plane over to the United States. There it is. Done. Said it.
He's on his way to New York, where he will change flights and then come down to Carolina.
Yes.
This is a guy, first of all, everything we've dealt with, like we've had to do it, like that we've talked about for the last 2 weeks, is why some teams do act extremely reluctantly to draft Russian prospects.
Yep.
Because the KHL is tough to maneuver, the contracts tough to deal with, the immigration, the travel, all of it is tough to get a player here.
The work visas, the whole deal.
Compared to, like, you know, Scott Morrow last year was playing for UMass on like a Tuesday and was playing for the Canes on like a Friday.
Yeah.
And it could have been quicker than that even. Meanwhile, Nikishin got his release from Scott St. Petersburg in the KHL weeks ago, and we were so excited this morning to learn that he was going to fly from Turkey to Saudi Arabia, from Saudi Arabia to New York, from New York to Carolina with a visa that works just to get here. Now it becomes how they navigate it once he does get here. I don't know how long the trip is from Saudi Arabia to New York. It doesn't sound short. If he shows up late tonight or early tomorrow morning, the Canes will likely practice on Saturday.
Yeah.
With their game on Sunday. Actually, for those of you that weren't listening earlier, it has been announced Canes' first postseason game Sunday. That's Easter Sunday at 3 o'clock at home. He's not booing Easter. He's booing the time that the NHL has given the Canes.
I'm booing the Easter Bunny.
We're Philly now? We're booing Santa Claus?
Yeah, exactly.
If Alexander Nikishin is here and rested and practices with him on Saturday, what are the percentages he's in the lineup on Sunday?
1%.
He has said, if I could get there, I'm ready to play tomorrow. He said that a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I think it's extremely unlikely as well. This is where I'd like, if the Canes go up 2-0, you win on Sunday at home, you win on Tuesday, 6 o'clock at home. Next game's not till Friday. Probably get some time on the ice in between there. He'll be super rested. He'll at least be around the team for a little bit. I think you might see him on Friday if they're up 2-0. If they go up 3-0 or 3-1, I think you see him in that next game as well. But there's a reason we make such a big. There's a reason we want to track flights for this guy. It's because he's good and his skill set is fun to daydream about. Right? It's fun to think about what a 6'4", 215, skilled, point producing. Right? He's not a guy that's a one-way player. He can get out there and do some things, and that's why we are tracking flights, even though we're not tracking flights. That's what NC State fans do. Anything you'd like to add about Nikishin?
I'm excited. That's it.
The most fun bar debate is if he enters into the lineup, what defenseman comes out. That's the debate that you can have in our YouTube comments. 99.9 The Fan on the live stream. Make your case. Don't just say a name. Let us know why. You can also send it to me on Twitter at Donnelly Sports or on X.com at Donnelly Sports. If Nikishin goes into the lineup, who's coming out? That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the two of us.
What time does the NFL draft start a week from today?
I think it's 8 o'clock.
So
8 o'clock Eastern.
We are 1 week and 2 hours and 44 minutes away from. That's on air math for you, everybody. Let's go. From the NFL draft. I'm fairly confident that Cam Ward will be number 1 to the Titans. I guess he was streaming a video game of some kind, and people started asking him, who are the best running backs in the NFL? Give us your top 4. And he put Tony Pollard and Tyjae Spears in his top 4 running backs in the NFL, who just happened to be the 2 running backs for the Tennessee Titans. They asked him who his best wide receivers were, and he put Treylon Burks in the top wide receivers in the league. He is a first-round pick of the Tennessee Titans, who actually really hasn't played much at all. That's about as telling as you're going to get from a player I expect to be drafted by the Tennessee Titans. After that, I'm fairly confident the next 2 picks are going to be some order of Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter going to the Browns and to the Giants. And beyond that, I'm not super confident about anything. And I've studied this draft for a long time. And I've studied the players, and I know what I would do at each of these spots, which we'll reveal over the next week. But I do not pretend to be able to predict this draft. From 4 or 5 to 20 or 25, you could argue there's a tier.
And that's crazy. Crazy. Dennis, put you on the spot. Who's drafted 4th? It's the Patriots with 4. Under this hypothetical, top 3 picks are Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, in whatever order. So Shador Sanders still on the board. Shador Sanders
him
still
too.
on the board. Mason Graham still on the board. Will Campbell still on the board.
From people I've seen post about this, like people who are like in the know and conversations I've heard and listened to, seems like Will Campbell, the offensive lineman at LSU, is going to be the 4th overall.
He's got
pick.
short arms. He's a T-Rex.
Yeah, maybe.
Can't clap.
Maybe. I don't know. But guess what? He might be the best offensive lineman in this draft.
True.
And
Armin Membo would be the more traditionally measured tackle, but he's projected to go like 6th to 12th, not 4th.
There's questions about if he could even play left tackle because he's mostly played right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that kind of drops your value, in lack of a better term.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I was having this thought the other day.
It's like it's a starting tackle.
Well, it's the college football didn't produce just a prototypical left tackle.
Yeah.
All like the options are a guy who's a little undermeasured and a guy who played right tackle. Like, who was the left tackle for Armin Membu? Right? He might be the first left tackle drafted in the NFL draft. He wasn't playing left tackle a ton in college. It's a weird draft this year. The best edge rusher is Abdul Carter. Other than that, the best edge rusher might have been playing off-ball backer like at half the time in Jalen Walker. It's crazy to think of. What number was that? Was that number 2?
That was number 2.
Let's get to number 1.
Walker with room. He'll make a move. He'll work this one out in front. Hall with a chance. Montembeau with a second chance. They score! Hall throws it out in front. There's a huge net front presence. And for Taylor Hall, that's a big goal as Carolina ties this one at 1.
That was from last night. The Carolina Hurricanes lost to Montreal, who was desperate for a win, needed it to make the postseason, and the Canes were playing for absolutely nothing as far as postseason goes. So kind of made sense that the game ended the way it did. For the details, here's our very own Adam Gold with 2 minutes of gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for 2 players that caught my eye in a 2-goal loss for the Hurricanes in Montreal, and it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers for better sleep. So the 2 players who caught my eye, Bradley Nadeau, the forward, and Dom Fensor, the defenseman. Both little guys. Nadeau, less little than Fensor, the blue liner, but I thought Nadeau looked bright. I thought he played well. He got in front of the net, believe it or not. And he helped create chaos that led to the Tyson Jost goal that made it 3-2. But what he's really known for is a shot.
Nice play by Nadeau to get it to Hall. Hall drags, shoots. Save Montembeau. Rebound. And Montembeau. Oh, merci. What a save on Nadeau.
Well, you get a real taste of Nadeau's release. He did everything but score here. Carolina better in transition for me than they were in the first. Lively rebound, and Nadeau just about makes Montembeau pay, but he does not chase that rebound. What a release, and that shot was labeled. That's on his natural side, too. Would be much easier if Nadeau was a lefty, not a righty. Heck of a release. That was going bar down.
Best save of the night for Sam Montembeau from Montreal, and that kept the game 1-1. That was a big moment for the Canadiens, who clinched a playoff spot. I loved everything about what I saw from Bradley Nadeau. I'll tell you what, Dom Fensor, for a little guy, just 5'7", plays with no fear on the blue line, isn't afraid to stick his nose in, had a couple of hits, but boy, is he good with the puck. Look, I don't know how many little guys can be defensemen in the NHL, but if anybody can, this guy's got a shot because he can skate like the wind, handles the puck really well, might even be able to help you on a second power play unit. The one thing I didn't like about the game last night was Pyotr Kochetkov. He made a bunch of really good saves, but boy, 2 of those 3 goals can't go in. And as the old adage goes, and this was credited with former Hurricanes goaltender and now Hall of Famer Tom Barrasso, you're only as good as the goals you allow, and 2 of the 3 goals can't go in. That is going to be a problem. Oh, Rod, good luck
making choices in the playoffs, let's not beat the brakes off of Freddie Anderson. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to a healthier night's sleep. Parkway Sleep Health Centers, sound sleep, sound health, sound off for 2 maybe future hurricanes.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Shout out to Adam Gold for 2 minutes of gold. Do you know what we need to give Adam a lot of credit for? No matter what happens in the game, he finds a way to find the number 2 in like 7 different ways. 2 players that caught my eye in a 2-goal loss, and 2. It's like, all right, how's he going to do this one? The score was 3-1, 3 different goal scores. Like, how are we gonna? We're gonna
a 2-goal loss.
Yeah, exactly. He finds a way. 3-5, I guess, or 1-5 would be the better way to do it. It was a 5-1 loss, 5 different goal scores. He was in there like 2 of the goals were softies. 2 were he'll find a way. Kane's reactions to last night. It was a game like this is the secret stuff. This is why I'm such a big fan of Rod Brind'Amour. Rod Brind'Amour can simultaneously say, this game meant nothing to us, and then there's a bad call by a ref on a face-off, and he just can't help but get worked up and get into it, right? He could have his son making his Skylar Brind'Amour, as it actually happened, making his NHL debut last night, and the graphics were all there, right? It's only the 8th time in history, 2nd time in the last 30 years that a coach had his son make his debut while they were on the bench, right? Skylar Brind'Amour is one of 4 Canes in history that were born in Raleigh, and all of this stuff was cool. But then after a penalty kill that was a bit sloppy with Skylar Brind'Amour on the ice, Rod went over and let him know about it. And I'm going like, this guy, it's why he is who he is, right? The competitive juices can't be bottled, right? They can't be held in. And you saw it last night. And it's why I think he was actually probably pretty proud of his makeshift roster with, 7-8 of their best guys being held out for rest, that they did give Montreal a game, right? Montreal, as I said, was desperate. They needed to win or at least pick up a point in order to go to the postseason. So they had their entire season riding on it. The Canes are out there with 4 AHL call-ups, 2 guys making their debut, unusual lines, and, it was 1-1 into the second period, and the Canes had some chances to take the lead. After the game, Rod Brind'Amour talked about it being relatively close, despite the considering the lineup changes that they made.
We made a couple coverage issues, and they ripped them in the net. That they had their chances, and then I think the game was pretty even. I haven't looked at the scoring chances, but zone time, all that felt like it was after the first period. We did a real nice job, and I think we controlled the face-off. Like there was little areas that we were doing well, and like I said, I think they just the skill. Obviously, Suzuki has all alone in front, can't leave the best player all alone, and he ripped in the net. Right, like that's what they do. So. A couple little breakdowns, they took advantage of it, but overall I thought we did pretty well considering what we were walking into and the guys weren't missing obviously.
Dennis, I know you had some advanced analytics that said the Canes were actually the better team on the ice last night.
Expected goals yesterday in all situations for the Carolina Hurricanes was 3.25. Expected goals against was 2.7.
I mean that's just a little consolation prize. But if you roll out 4 AHL call-ups and you end up with more expected goals than a team that desperately needed to win to make the postseason, I mean that's not nothing.
Yeah, you sat your entire top line.
Mm-hmm.
You sat out 2 of your shutdown forwards in Jordan Staal and Jordan Martinook, and your top 2 defensive defensemen in Jalen Chatfield and Jacob Slavin. Slavin obviously being that top guy.
And you didn't win. Columbus would have liked for you to win.
Well, of course.
But you played well enough that some advanced analytics say you played better than the other team. I think that's, again, like I said, that's not nothing. I don't know how much it is, but it's definitely not a 0. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on and we grab our numbers game contestants, which we do have some Blink-182 tickets to give away to the winner. Before we do that, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, interest rates, they have plummeted. It's time to give Loan Pronto a call. If you're looking to get cash out of your home equity, refinance out of a high rate, or do a home improvement project, Loan Pronto can make it happen in a matter of days. Take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home equity. Pay off all your credit cards. Pay off your car loans. The average homeowner cuts their monthly bills by $1,000. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation and higher costs have put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you own a home, there's a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks, and most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on those credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project. It all starts by getting in contact with the experts at this, and that's Loan Pronto. Visit loanpronto.com or call now, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, needs some numbers game contestants. Right now, we need 2 contestants. Call in 919-860-5326 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Blink-182 at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on September 3rd. Where are you? I'm so sorry. You know Blink-182. I said I was going to sing a line for every week we get, or every day we had a giveaway. So there you go. 919-860-5326. Call in now. I just like doing the accent. If you want to play the numbers game, you have to call in. We need 2 contestants. Numbers game next.
The Canes are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's game 1.
Now back out in front, they'll score! Oh, to Jarvis! What a simply sensational setup!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 2, puck drop at 3.
Stahl coming in, and he scores! From the highlight reel, the captain!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Hey girl, haven't seen you downtown lately. Nope, sticking to our go-to places. You mean like Sharky's. Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3. You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection. And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it. Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other? Yes!
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durley Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. America's favorite car show is back. The Good Guys 10th Griot's Garage North Carolina Nationals presented by Trimmett. This Friday and Saturday at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds in Raleigh. Cruise on out and see over 1,500 of the Southeast's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Autocross racing, a Saturday night demolition derby, vendor midway, live entertainment, and more. This Friday and Saturday at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. Details at good-guys.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program,
you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have Josh in Raleigh and Matt in Holly Springs ready to play the numbers game. The winner will get tickets to see Blink-182. As always, we ask a question, and we ask a question, Dennis picks his favorite answer, and then that person gets to go first. So we'll start with Josh in Raleigh. Josh, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing?
All right, so the prize for today, Blink-182 tickets, and we talked yesterday about how there's a line where they say, nobody likes you when you're 23, implying that 23 is old. And when I first listened to it, I was like 10, and I was like, geez, 23 is old. Now I'm in my 30s, I'm like, what is he talking about? What a terrible song. So the question is, how old is old? At what age do you consider it old? That's my question for you.
Older than me.
Okay. Do you want to put it, Dennis, do you need a number?
I'd say it's 50s. 50s.
50s? Okay.
I don't plan on it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you could have said 110. The answer is up to you. So 50s is where you're going with it. We'll go to Matt in Holly Springs. Matt, are you there?
Yes.
Inspired by Nobody Likes You When You're 23, a lyric from Blink-182. At what age are you considered old?
I would say 60.
All right, so we got 50s or 60. Kind of similar, Dennis. Which one are you rolling
I
with?
feel like you're putting me in a tough spot here.
Well, what do you think? This is like a Family Feud answer, right?
It is.
Fast money. 100 people surveyed. They were asked, how old, what age do you become old?
I like like Josh said, yeah, older than me. I kind of like that initial answer.
It keeps growing, right?
It does.
When you're 20, 25 is old. When you're 25, 30 years old. When you're 30, 35 is old. Just keeps going.
I do like that.
All right, so we'll give it to Josh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might actually go Matt on this one.
All right.
I'd like Josh the initial answer, but he kind of switched up a little bit. But I'm going to go Matt. I think once you hit that 6-0, I think it's fair to say that you are quote unquote old.
If my parents are listening, they're like, no, Matt in Holly Springs, you get to go first. You ready?
You put me in a real tough spot.
Hey, you could have said your answer was 110, but out of the two, you had to pick one.
Oh yeah, it's closest without going over, right?
Exactly. Matt in Holly Springs, you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right. And by the way, Blink-182 said 23, so we can all agree they're wrong. The categories are NFL players that also played in the minors, or at least were drafted into baseball, I guess we could say. NFL players that played college hoops. NBA players, most NBA games played without playoffs in the top 100 of that category amongst active players, or NHL Hurricanes only.
I'll do NFL players who played in the minors.
Okay. I believe these are players that were drafted into baseball, but it's the same deal. So I'll give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. A.J. Brown, Philadelphia Eagles.
11.
Correct. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
12.
Correct. Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals.
3.
Incorrect. Shaq Thompson, Carolina Panthers.
11.
Incorrect. Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals.
13.
Incorrect. Shaq Thompson, Carolina Panthers.
18.
You got 2. That's what we'll go with. You got 2. A.J. Brown, 11. Tom Brady, 12. You got both of those. Kyler, we're looking for number 1. He is, as far as I know, the only person that's been drafted top 10 in both sports, which is absurd. Shaq Thompson with the Panthers. He didn't necessarily play well, but he did play in the minors for a while. Low batting average. But 7 or 54 is what we were looking for Shaq Thompson. Turns out much better football player. Panthers legend. So you got 2. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line. That brings us to that was Matt in Holly Springs, right? So that brings us to Josh and Raleigh. Josh, are you there?
Yep.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that played college basketball, NBA players who are in the top 100 active players in most games played without appearing in the playoffs, or NHL Hurricanes only.
NFL players that played hoops.
All right. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You do need 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Tony Gonzalez, Kansas City Chiefs.
88.
Correct. Drake London, Atlanta Falcons.
11.
Incorrect. Julius Peppers, Carolina Panthers.
89.
Incorrect. Drake London, Atlanta Falcons.
12.
Incorrect. Julius Peppers, Carolina Panthers.
99.
Incorrect. Drake London, Atlanta Falcons.
10.
Incorrect. Julius Peppers, Carolina Panthers.
99.
Incorrect. Drake London, Atlanta Falcons.
Pass.
DeAndre Hopkins, Kansas City Chiefs. Julius Peppers, you really thought it was 99, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
All right, you thought just wanted to double check. Tony Gonzalez, you got that with 88. Drake London with the Falcons wears number 5. Julius Peppers, number 90. So you just needed to not throw the 9 on there. You didn't have much time for it, but DeAndre Hopkins with the Chiefs wore number 8. Unfortunately, that is just 1 correct, so not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
Did it.
All right, appreciate it. Call back in, try again. And that means Matt in Holly Springs is the winner. Matt, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
You get some Blink-182 tickets for the win. Congrats.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. How about that?
Thank you.
How about that? Those 2 lists, by the way, all jerks. All of them. You can't be so good that you get to play 2 sports at a high. Like Keon Coleman was a all ACC guy at Florida State and played college basketball for Tom Izzo at Michigan State. You're not allowed to do that.
I always think like Charlie Ward was a Heisman Trophy winner in college and was drafted first round of the NBA.
Spread the talent around for the rest of us. Kyler Murray, you were drafted 8th in baseball. It wasn't enough, so you had to go get drafted 1st in football.
So cool.
Whoa.
Wow, thanks. Cool, Dion.
Jerk. I like
Jackson.
Like the Tom Brady's and A.J. Browns. I don't even think they played like their last couple years of high school baseball. They just got drafted there because they were so good when they were younger. Get out of here with that nonsense. I love to bring that up when people are like, Tom Brady, what an underdog story, 6th round pick. I'm like, oh, you mean the guy that played football at Michigan and was drafted into baseball just off of how good he was years ago? That scrappy upstart athlete? That one? Yeah, we can have that conversation another day. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Maynard Service Company wants to hook you up, right? They literally, right? They want to hook up your plumbing and do it right, but they also want to make sure you're taken care of for heating, cooling, electric, right? These are things that at some point you're going to go beyond your DIY, right? I'm handy. My dad was handy growing up, so I learned a lot from him. And my wife trusts me with some right. I probably bite off more than I could chew, but there's a point for all of us where right. It's I can fix that. Oh, I can install a toilet. Oh, I can fix that. I can install the ceiling fan. And then you get beyond that, and it's like, well, I got to call in the professionals Mainer Service Company are the professionals you should call when it gets a little too above your knowledge base. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, they're getting more and more complicated, more and more innovative every single year. Those industries are. And Mainer Service Company is keeping up with the times, excellently trained, always on the cutting edge, and they want to use all that information to help you out. 919-361-0993 is the number. That's 919-361-0993. Or you can visit them online, MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. We've been kind of doing a little deal here at the end of the show recently on who we wish could win championships and who we wish wouldn't. We do it historical. If you could take somebody retired and just give them a ring, say, hey, you won this, who would you give it to? That's coming up next. Stick around.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu, fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50. Add any size Sprite for $1.49. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Hey, which way is your waiting room?
Oh, you can stay in your car. It only takes 10 minutes.
I can stay in? Get out. I better find a good playlist to listen to while I wait. EDM? Nah. Oh, what about something classical? Nah. You got any suggestions?
Dad rock?
Now you speaking my language.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
If a carpet refresh is on your to-do list, now's the time to check it off, because right now you can take advantage of our Buy More, Save More savings. The more you buy, the more you save, up to 15% on select special order carpet purchases. Plus, the Home Depot Home Services can handle the installation for you. All that's left is to enjoy that stunning new carpet and step into softness. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Offer valid April 17th through May 4th. Receive up to 15% off special select order carpet purchases. Minimum purchase required. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Chocolate lovers are going absolutely bananas over our new Bluebell Banana Fudge. Rich milk chocolate ice cream swirled with a scrumptious banana-flavored ice cream. Your favorite banana fudge bar, now in a carton.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your favorite grocer. If you can't find it, be sure to ask for it.
Struggling to get the sleep treatment you need? I'm Megan Giggling, General Manager of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. You shouldn't have to wait for better sleep. Our streamlined process provides for sleep studies, CPAP machines, and supplies, without the long delays you'll find at other sleep centers. At Parkway Sleep, we'll help you get good rest faster, and with the care you deserve.
With over 20 years of experience, join countless satisfied customers who have discovered the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit us today at parkwaysleep.com. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health. Hey, it's Adam Golden. I am in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Quality you can afford. Another of the great mottos of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. What do you mean by that?
Well, isn't that great? That's
It's great. I like that.
So
as a motto.
we have customers all the time that call us out for windows, and they don't think they can do all of them at once. And you don't have to with us for sure, but we have 18 months zero interest financing. We have all kinds of plans actually. So whatever your budget is, if you're putting off windows because you don't think you can do it now, call us out and let us at least price it for you and give you some options of how we can make it easier.
I like making it easier. What if they don't want to do the whole job right away?
No problem. We can do the front of the house. We can start on the front, the sides, whatever you need. I mean, the deal is we come out and we're here to help you figure out a project that works for you and maybe take care of the worst things first.
What about down payments?
Zero.
What do you mean zero?
I mean, you don't have to pay a penny until we're done with the work. We're one of the few.
Or maybe the only.
Maybe the only.
I wouldn't go to another company.
That's awesome.
800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So this whole little series of conversations we've had started with Rory McIlroy winning the Masters, which, by the way, if you go look at Rory McIlroy's Instagram, he changed the bio to Grand Slam winner. Pretty baller move after you win. You're one of 6 career Grand Slam winners in history.
No lies detected, though.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for him, right? He grinded for that. 11 years. 0-38 in majors to get to that point, and that's kind of why I was rooting for him. So it got me thinking, like if Rory didn't win the Masters and then his just career, it came and went, you might want to go grab a championship, grab the green jacket, and if you could just give it to him. So who in history was the Rory, right? The one you wish could have won a championship and just didn't. Any sport, who would you go retroactively say like, hey, I'm changing history, you won? Dennis, do you have some that you'd like to throw out here? I've got some that are like just generic and then some that are very personal.
I had a couple that popped into mind.
All right, let's hear
it. Jim Kelly.
Yeah,
Buffalo Bills.
0-4 becomes 1-3 and suddenly it's not a joke.
Yeah, I think him definitely pops into my mind for sure. Also, Allen Iverson. I was a big-time Allen Iverson fan, and when they actually made it to the finals...
When they won Game 1?
They won Game 1. I was like, oh, man.
The Tyronn Lue step-over?
Yeah, that was good. I mean, he carried that team.
Personally,
they were a good team, but still.
Mutombo was on that team, but it wasn't... He was an all-star still, but not...
Good team, but not what they were going against.
That era for me was Allen Iverson and Mike Piazza. If I could give both of them a championship, maybe that year, because it was Subway Series in baseball, and then it was Iverson against the Lakers. So it was almost a really great year for me. Those were my dudes. I want to give one to Ted Williams and Ernie Banks. Just because they were right in the middle of the Cubs can't win and the Red Sox can't win, right? Ernie Banks with the Cubs, and they are all-time greats. That's just, like, when I think about them, they do have a championship, but they don't, right? It's like they're in the mix with the guys that do, but they don't. So I just think one would help them out a bunch. I did some Googling. Peter Stastny. Paul Stastny's pops.
Oh, yeah. He was good.
7 of his first 8 years, he had 100 points. Never really even, like, I know some of those teams early on were good, got traded away, never made it even, like, out of the first round after that. Like, I almost just want to give him, like, an appearance in the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, just get close. That's so much individual production without ever really getting over the hump. And I think hockey's one of those, like, you need to have a team around you. It's not basketball where if you just have one great for a decade, like, you'll make it once. So just statistics-wise, he stood out to me. LaDainian Tomlinson.
That's a good one.
When you win so many people their fantasy football championships, I feel like you should probably win at least one real one for yourself. And obviously you mix in everyone that's on that roster with him, right? It would have been the Phillip Rivers. It would have been some of those other guys. Would have had to been one of his Chargers teams, right? So you check off some other boxes to get there. This one popped up. And I don't know why this struck me. And Dennis is on the phone. I'm sure one of the callers are giving him his pick, so I'm going to save this one for him. There's one that just blew my mind. Personally, I read a book on Wahoo Sam Crawford. He's a baseball player from the late he was born in the late 1800s, played in the 1900s. I feel so bad for this guy. He's a Hall of Famer, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer. He finished his career with 2,961 hits. But back then, you didn't know what leagues counted towards official stats. So when he retired, he thought he had 3,000 hits. And then they retroactively said, like, oh, those weird Pacific Coast, whatever, hits don't matter. So he retired 39 hits short, could have gotten more. Never won a championship, played for the Tigers with Ty Cobb. Wahoo Sam Crawford is one of my guys.
Caller, David just said Stockton and Malone.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz.
I mean, they got, hey, you played with Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, you played during the wrong era. Which you could go Barkley, you could go Drexler.
Ewing.
Drexler wasn't on those
Rocket teams?
Rocket teams.
I can't remember if he was or wasn't. I know Olajuwon was.
Yeah, Olajuwon got his, for sure. Do you know what blew my mind? Because I was looking up best athletes that have never won a championship. And I don't know why, but I think it's just my age and probably your age too. She was like on Wheaties boxes and Sports Illustrated. Do you know Michelle Kwan never won a gold medal?
Really?
I thought she was like a 15-time gold medal winner. Like she was all over everything during those Olympics. She had a silver. She came back 4 years later, got a bronze. And then the next year, the last one, she was hurt and didn't get to go. How does Michelle Kwan not have a gold medal? She would like, I remember Sports Illustrated for kids just was like, it was Michelle Kwan for like every Winter Olympics.
Clyde Drexler did win in 95.
All right, so never mind. Not him.
Real quick, so we have a minute left. Hockey player for me that I really loved watching, actually just retired at the end of this last year, didn't win a cup, Joe Pavelski.
Joe Pavelski.
That guy was like played 82 games every single year. It felt like he was playing he had over 1,000 points in his NHL career.
John on Twitter just sent me Barry Sanders.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's a good one.
I feel bad for the Stars that stuck it out on bad teams and never got one, because it's like you did the honorable thing and you deserve to be rewarded for that, and you didn't. Overdrive is coming up next. We're going to look at last night's Canes game to start. Then there's a little Duke Caleb Foster conversation later on in Overdrive. Canes tonight, Ottawa right here, 99.9 The Fan. Stormwatch leading up to it. Enjoy it all. We'll see you tomorrow to round out the week. Until then, see ya.
Move your sports day forward.
The golf world needed Rory's win at the Masters just as much as he needed the green jacket. We have someone new to root for, and he's relatable. Just a guy who cranks one into the water one moment, then saves par by smashing one out of the rough. Now, if he's really turned the corner, let's see if he contends at next month's PGA.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your plumbing outdated or just not getting the job done? Call Newcomb & Company to see how we can help get your home operating at peak performance. Our experienced plumbers can repair or replace faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
Heineken Silver is a world-class light beer with only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. It keeps things light and refreshing all year round. It's like rain showing up to cool things off and then politely leaving. It's like cracking open a window and nailing the cross breeze. So, as we move into the warmer weather, grab a crisp and refreshing Heineken Silver and taste the difference. Only 2.9 carbs and 95 calories. Available at your local Heineken retailer or for delivery at Heineken.com/silver now. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
The place to be is at First Horizon Stadium in Cary when the North Carolina Courage hosts Scooby-Doo and Hucks at the Pitch on April 19th, presented by Veterinary Emergency Group. Have a Scooby scavenger hunt and watch the Courage play Bay FC. Tickets at nccourage.com/tickets.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering